we're here for kickoff. Browns versus the Buffalo Bills. We're having fun. Let's see what happens here. Malachi Corley back to return. The Browns will get the ball to start the game. Buffalo's been an interesting team to watch. Yes, they're on a winning streak. They have a couple of comeback wins, but comeback is the key word here. Buffalo's been playing with their food for a few weeks now. And that's been something that can make you prime for an upset here. Shedeur Sanders takes the field versus the Buffalo Bills.
In the 4 starts that Shedeur has made, he's the 42nd difference starting quarterback for Cleveland since they re-entered the league in 1999.
Yeah, last week in Chicago was obviously a tough one. The Bears, phenomenal at takeaways, the 3 interceptions, but something he's excelled at this year is the deep pass. Been very good in that area. Today they need to help him out with the run game.
3 straight losses for the Browns. They dropped 6 of their last 7. The only win in that.
I was going to spread it out to start. Little screen here to Quinshon. And Judkins going to get ahead of the sticks. Remember, staying ahead of the sticks, been one of the Browns' biggest problems offensively, regardless of who the quarterback is, right? It's part of the reason why, the offense has been consistently ineffective and horrible at EPA, despite the fact that we've played 4 different quarterbacks. And it's partly because this team has done a terrible job of staying ahead of the sticks.
Number 2 passing.
It's 2nd and 4 now.
So that'll be a great matchup to watch.
Little run here to Judkins. And Judkins is going to be close to a first down. We're going to be at 3rd and 1. Ball close to midfield. Due to a decent kick return by Malachi Corley.
Here, there is no David Njoku today. He's out with a knee injury. The double tight end set previously was Fannin and Whiteheart. They need a yard.
Another run here, and Judkins will be good here to the 45.
This is already a better start for the run game than last week for the Browns. Their longest design run last week was 4 yards for the entire.
Yeah, the Browns' run game last week was just atrocious. Got completely stuffed, so nice to see him have some life here.
Yards of offense last week.
It's really going to be dependent on which Joe Bitonio shows up week to week, because the run game is really dependent on him. They're going to pass here, a little dump off the Fannin, and again they stay ahead of the sticks. No, they get a first down as Fannin just forces his way through and does a 6-7 Selly.
That's a gain of 11.
Good drive to start here. Just keeping it real simple, real easy, real basic here. Just dump off, running the ball, making the game easy early on. Again, the Buffalo Bills play with their food. Like that is undeniable. You go look at their last 3 games. They will play around. The Browns could get a lead here that'll also be good for the Browns for the sack watch for Myles Garrett as we get an end around with Isaiah Bond, and he gets loose here about to the 20.
Isaiah Bond got it from Corley.
Double reverse pass here from Malachi Corley to Isaiah Bond. They've been setting that play up all year with all the end arounds and reverses that they throw to Corley throughout the season. They've been hitting pretty well. Good block here by Shedeur, and that's going to be a big play. Man, watching our run game so bad had me watching D'Ernest Johnson highlights. Damn, bro, you was down bad. If you want to join, hold on, wait, drop back from Shedeur, little pass there to Jerry Jeudy, and again, ahead of the sticks. They're staying ahead of the sticks on this first drive, is leading to good things early on. Slide with the super chat, man, watching our run game be so bad had me watching D'Ernest Johnson highlights.
Yeah, I think we might already be past that 57. We're at 53 yards so far today, so they're already getting close to that 57 yards here on the first drive today.
2 tight ends in this formation on a 2nd and 3. Handoff.
And a nice run there by Judkins. I know some people have been questioning whether Judkins is good or not because of the bad running numbers from last week, but I think that's just more on the offensive line than anything. Look, no matter what the Browns do at the quarterback position, and there's going to be a lot of options for the Browns come this offseason, they're going to have to also address that offensive line, right? You know, they're going to have to sign some free agents more than likely, draft a couple of guys. So there's going to have to be changes made on that O-line because the pass blocking hasn't really been as terrible, but the run blocking has been just abysmal this season. But the Browns having success running the ball here, play action to Fain, and Fain has the corner. That's going to be a touchdown. Good morning, Q from Cali. Let's go 95. Let's go Browns. Well, if you want Miles to get that record, this is exactly what you want to see early on, right? You want the Browns to be able to get a lead early.
He's going to come over here, and then he's going to slip behind Joey Bosa, and Shador gets it out in front.
Nice dump off, and then Harold Fainin, the electric rookie, and Shador's favorite target by far on the team here. Great job by Tommy Rees. Just making it simple, right? Didn't really ask Shador to do too much in that first drive. Really just leaned on the run game, leaned on getting the ball to playmakers, having them make plays early on, all of those things. We'll see if they can continue to have that success, keeping the game plan that simple going forward, or what they're going to do to try to adjust it once the Bears kind of counter with something. But really smart, simple game plan here early on. Take advantage of Buffalo just getting the ball into the playmakers' hands. And great job by Shador facilitating it and facilitating the run game. Whew. By the way, thank you, the Solvin, for your super chat. Good morning, Q from Cali. Appreciate that. Appreciate that super chat. But yeah, so far so good. Good start. And look, you get the ball to start the game. All you want to do is be able to get points, right? Because you get such a negative event. Well, it's such a disadvantage to get the ball to start at times because you're not going to get that ball to start halftime, and that can lead to a big swing to start the second half. So if you get that ball, you want to get points. You got to get points on those first drives, right? 3 or 7 to make sure that you have some kind of cushion to protect you from the middle 8. So really good stuff there. You know, it's exactly what you want. And again, Buffalo plays with their food, man. Like, this is a football team. This isn't the Buffalo Bills from like 2-3 years ago or even last year where they look like monsters and they look like the best team in the NFL. This has been a different Bills team. This has been a much more shaky Bills team than that. They've played with their food the last couple of weeks. They haven't really been the dominant team that you would expect, especially if you've been watching their games. Been interesting to watch Buffalo. So yeah, just, you know, this isn't impossible for the Browns to get. Will it be difficult? Yeah, because Josh Allen's going to be Josh Allen. You know, but the Browns get the points early. And let's say, you know, if you're the Browns, you're probably going for 24, 27 points. You feel like if you get the 24 or 27 points, you can win this game. So that's probably the magic number for the Browns as they show. Is that Tremont or is that where that Walmart is? Yeah, it looks like where that Walmart is. Like still something. I forget the name of it sometimes. But all right, we're back here. Browns defense going to be on the field after this kickoff return if the Browns stop it. We know the Browns special teams has been terrible, and they continue to be terrible as I think that kick went out of bounds, and it's going to be a penalty on the Browns. Oh, that stayed in bounds. Good kick by Schmidt.
Great job.
I thought that went out of bounds. McVay just fired their special teams coordinator right before the playoffs because he cost them a 3rd game. Yep. I mean, the Browns are such a lost cause regular season wise that like it doesn't really matter if they fire their special teams coordinator or not. But the Browns really don't have assistants on special teams too. Like the structure of the special teams coaching staffs have been strange, and I think lead to part of the problem here. But all right, 1st and 10.
At the 20-yard line. Old school NFL starting field position.
They're going to roll away from Miles early on, and Josh Allen going to get about 7 yards to stay ahead of the sticks here. If you're the Browns and you want Miles to get that lead, get that sack record, right? It's probably not going to happen on the first drive, right? They're going to put all their let's run away from Miles plays early in this game. You want this lead to be there in the second quarter. Like, that's when there's the best chance, because that's when they have to kind of just play you straight up.
But what needs to happen for Myles Garrett?
Right, they're not going to play you straight up in the first couple of drives, though. They're going to pull out everything that they've been game planning to stay away from Miles. Run up the middle. Crease here. Look, those kind of, they've been, I think that's like a trap run that they put in there. That's been killing the Browns up the middle since the injury of Malik Collins.
For what he's doing.
He deserves a ton of love. He's been incredible, just continuing to go to work every single week. As he goes, this offense goes. You just look at the numbers with their scrimmage yards. When he has over 100 scrimmage yards, they're 10-1. He's been phenomenal, and also the offensive line.
And no matter what, Browns need to stop the run. That's been hurting them the last few weeks, right? And they don't do it here. James Cook going to burst this one out to the 50. They have been really poor in their run defense for like 3 weeks now. This has continued on into this first drive here.
Connor McGovern for 15 yards.
Watch McGovern and Brown all the way down the field. Connor McGovern is 10, 12 yards down the field.
They're running right at Shelby Harris.
We just talked about the offensive line and how they assist James Cook. They work hand in hand. Phenomenal.
We're on 95 record watch. Pitiful that this is the season he could break the record. I was thinking it would be awesome if he, if it would be if we would be going for the dances from Samuel Madden. Appreciate the super chat. Josh Allen dumps this out, and they're going to get another 6 yards. They're just giving up easy yards on first down. It's not good. But yeah, I mean, it would be amazing if the Browns could be like a legitimate contender this year, and Miles is breaking the record. But I'll put it like this. Look, Miles is dealing with the least amount of true pass sets that any edge rusher who's had the amount of sacks that he's had by like almost like a factor of 100. So if the Browns get, good, they get a good quarterback, quarterback play dramatically improves, the offense becomes really good, and they go from 3-11 to 11-3 in the next few years, Miles is going to have another season like this.
For Buffalo. Handoff. Cook.
Oh, God.
3 defenders and then kicks it to another gear. Still going.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, the run defense has been pitiful. We just could not get the Buffalo Bills out of running the ball there, and if they can't stop that, that's going to be a problem. It's Shelby, really. They're running right at Shelby right now.
Talked about the
Yeah, Shelby went way too far upfield. Aiden Huntington way too far upfield. Really taking advantage of the lack of size that the Browns have in there with Mike Hall out. And they're running right towards it. Browns defensive line has been banged up for like the last couple of months here, and it's really starting to bite this defense in the ass.
Yes, for me and my family. So he did not push it to the side. He acknowledged that he wants the title. He's in a battle with Jonathan Taylor, and right now he has tied the game.
Yeah, somebody pointed it out in chat. Diabite out of his gap, just too aggressive. I think what's happening here is that they're constantly selling out to try to get Miles the record, and because that's the goal for the defense right now, they're doing stuff that unironically is actually making it harder for Miles to get the record because they can't stop the run right now. Like, they keep selling out, going upfield, being really excited. They want to get that sack from Miles. And I think that's part of the problem right now. You know what I mean? Like, they got to just play straight up. Miles got 20 sacks without you trying to force it. Just go back to that, right? Like, let's just relax a little bit, not bite on everything, not be so damn eager to get pressure, because you don't have to be that eager to get pressure. I think like Miles being this close to the sack record is making the defense play kind of out of their game, in my opinion. Ray Rag says Collins being injured completely changed the run defense, but as someone who drafted James Cook in fantasy, I'll take it. Dude, I traded James Cook in a Jamar Chase trade situation. It fucked my fantasy team up. Horrible move. But I wouldn't put it all on Malik Collins. I do think Malik Collins not being healthy is definitely part of it. I don't want to put it all on him. I think part of it is just they're at the end of the season. The only thing they have to play for is the sack record. And they really want the sack record. So they're just kind of selling out a lot when they shouldn't. You know, I don't think this is just like from the players. Like, I think this is also Jim Schwartz. He wants Miles to get this record. Like, everybody wants him to get this record. And like the second he got close to it, you notice like how the Browns played defensively start to get way more aggressive. They're blitzing more often, right? Like, I think that's kind of why the run defense has gone to shit too. Like, on top of obviously Malik Collins being injured as well.
Right through the AFC Championship.
All right, well, the Browns had a promising first drive here. Let's see if they can make it promising on drive number 2 here, as the kickoff will be kicked to Corley, who had a good return last time. A little bit of a lane here for Corley, and he's going to get to the 35 again.
35-yard line will get stacked up there. Well, the Buffalo Bills, what they've done in the second half has been just awe-inspiring. First half's not great. Only team with a winning record with a negative.
Yeah, see, this is what I've been talking about. They're bringing it up on the broadcast. They play with their food. They definitely play with their food.
I'll put him through the face mask there. Now I just want wings. I mean,
I knew that would happen.
Yeah, deep into wing thoughts now. But you do have to remember they are the best opening drive team in the NFL. So they have success in that first drive. It's the rest of the first half is where the struggles come.
You could eat that guy's hat. I don't doubt it. Shotgun, Sanders.
A lot of time here for Sanders. He dumps it off to Judkins, and that'll get the job done. You're going to get ahead of the sticks here on first down.
Williams and Terrell Bernard, who is back in the lineup for Buffalo.
Buffalo's defensive line is such a weird thing to talk about because they are sometimes one of the better defensive lines in football, other times super ineffective, right? They got a bunch of players who kind of tied that line, right? This point of Joey Bosa's career, he's a on-off kind of guy. Gregory Rousseau has always been that, even when he was at Miami. So we'll see what we get from that defensive line of Buffalo. But right now, the Browns off to a really good start here. 2nd and 5, ball at the 40, little handoff, and it works to Judkins. Judkins going to have space. He gets rid of the safety. He is on his way to the 20. Oh boy, this is great for Judkins, man. I feel happy. Feel good for him. He has had a start. Oh shit, it's coming back. Oh damn. Well, that could be a killer. Luke Whippler with the hold. Oh, that sucks, bro. San says Browns need another Malik Collins who is missed. I don't think it's just Malik Collins. I'm gonna be honest with you, because like Malik Collins isn't even that good of a run defender. Like, I think putting this all on Malik Collins is more like we're more just going with like a coincidence than actual like reasons for it not being good. I think the reasons the run defense is worse is because they're more aggressive downhill to try to get like pressure.
YR, so Whippler has been in there at center. They've had to make a lot of changes along the offensive line because of injuries. 9 different starting combinations, 2nd in the NFL. Sanders pocketed Skolasky.
Hey, good job getting rid of it.
Catches made by Fenn, and he bounces off the one tackler.
All right, so that puts it back into what, 3rd and 10?
Just across the 35, hit by Sanders on the play. So week 1 starting offensive line.
Looked like one of their linebackers got hurt.
Teller and Conklin, and you now see where those players have been.
IR, out for the season,
IR.
Good old Joel,
Buffalo Bills have
starting every game.
The athletic training staff is checking on
Yeah, Shaq Thompson. All right, 3rd and 12 for the Browns.
Great job this year for that Bills defense.
So the depth being tested once again for Buffalo. Made that tackle on Fannin and then went down. We've seen Maxwell Hairston in there for Tre'Davious White. Cam Lewis has been the nickel. 3rd down and 12 for Cleveland.
They're in high quarter coverage, sending a little pressure. It's going to be a screen. This could hit. This could hit. This is going to hit. 1st down. Good call. Great call by Tommy Rees.
Sanders knew he was going to get.
Great call by Tommy Rees there. Really great call there. Realizes they're going to send the pressure, high quarter shell, throws right into it, and then has the 3 blockers out front to get the space there for Travion.
3rd and long to try and get to the young quarterback, and they said that.
Great tendency breaker there because teams have been going to those blitzes. Good call there. Great call by Tommy Rees.
Once again in Buffalo territory. Corley the motion man. Judkins back in at tailback.
And then they go off the Corley.
Sweep it to Corley.
Hey, man, Tommy's in his bag today. I like the game plan. Tommy and Kevin did a great job putting together this game plan, and Tommy's doing a great job in the booth calling these plays.
Talked about this week wanting to do
Really, really good stuff here from them, right?
defense because they felt like that's where the weaknesses in the run game were. Clearly today, they've been trying to get out there and finding success so far.
We talked about it. Like, I've been wanting to see some variety out the run game all season. We're finally starting to see it a little bit.
4.5 to play in this opening quarter. Cleveland not only holding its own, but they've been highly effective on offense. Make the handoff. Sanders sets.
A lot of time here.
Down. Sanders waits. He will throw to the sideline. Caught by Judkins. He tried to circle it upfield.
What's the flag?
31 by Williams.
That looks like it's going to be on the defense, right?
At the 28.
Defensive holding. 5 yards, 1st down.
Epenesa, the guilty party.
Browns offensive line doing a really good job protecting and blocking today. Like, really good job from a unit that's made up of just spare parts right now.
And pull him down as he's trying to get onto a route. Can't do that.
12 offensive plays for Cleveland. They've gained 109 yards. That's 9 yards per play here in the opening quarter.
Just a fantastic start. Everything the Browns offense was hoping for.
Handoff. Judkins runs into a crowd.
All right. That's first time 1st down didn't get ahead of the chains there. We got to, what, 2nd and 9? We're going to have to throw out of this.
In the AFC, and here's Justin Herbert to Quentin Johnson. 23 yards for a score. 7-7. Chargers Cowboys back game.
Same score here, 7-7. 3.5 to go in this opening quarter. 2nd down and 8 for the Browns. 2 tight ends. It's worked.
Too high show.
Formations. They've used it throughout the first quarter. Movement jumps. 3 flags.
72.
Bill Vinovich, 17th year referee in the NFL. Send it down to Evan Washburn.
Shaq Thompson out of the blue tent, helmet in hand. He's dealing with a neck injury, listed as questionable, having a conversation with medical staff right now. Dorian Williams getting some extra time here as they continue to work on Shaq. But again, it's his neck. Return is questionable.
All right, Evan, Dorian Williams is experienced now in his 3rd year, 3rd round pick. A lot of playing time last season.
All right. Browns got out of the heavy distance early, and it looked like they're going to send another blitz here. Nope. Just a 4-man rush. Oh, shit.
And it's a gift interception. Pick made by Jordan Poyer, the former Cleveland Brown. He told us that this season has felt like a movie, and you can put this right in the script. Poyer.
It's behind him. That's what happened. I mean, look, the two things are going to be true here because I don't even have to look at chat to know what chat's doing right now. Two things can be true here, and I think we need to accept the two things are true here. One, obviously, you want Quinshawn to do a better job of catching that ball, but also Shedeur can't fire hard and behind on a dump off, right? Like you're throwing a drag, you got to get that ahead at the very least. You can't be high and behind. The reason you can't be high and behind is whether you like it or not, throwing high and behind the running backs leads to a lot of tipped balls, and that leads to interceptions. So, you know, Shedeur's got to be better on that play. He's got to make that layup. You can't allow for an opportunity like that, and I think that throw allowed for it. But also, you want Quinshawn to turn around and try to just secure the ball there and be a better receiver out the backfield. Either way, it's just poor execution, and poor execution leads to turnovers. It's been the story of the Browns season all year. Unfortunate there. They had a pretty good drive going, got out of a 3rd and long, and at least looked like they were going to get points, but now it's a wasted opportunity. They get the ball back to Josh Allen, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's just unfortunate there. Yeah, chat's on what I thought chat would be on. All right, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I'm seeing 26 likes. Are we only at 26? That can't be right. That can't be right. We got to be higher than 26. Okay, 99. Let's try to get that up to 500, man. Let's hit that like button. Got about 800 in chat right now arguing about the ball placement of a drag. Yeah, I think both things are true. I think you want Quinshawn to make a play on that, but you also want your quarterback to make a better throw. I don't think that's controversial. I think both things are true here. I think it is shared blame on that, right? Shedeur could have avoided the whole situation by throwing a ball that was cleaner, and Quinshawn could have avoided the situation by securing the football.
And now the Buffalo Bills take over at their own 39-yard line. 2:55 to play, first quarter. Cook in the backfield. Give it to him. Cook.
Man, two rookies, people gonna overreact. That's just the thing with the Sanders stuff, man. People are gonna overreact to everything.
Decision. He's taking the easy pass in the angle route. It's just the execution. He throws it a little high and behind him with some heat on it.
Yeah, high behind, hot. It's gonna be a tip ball, man. It's got to learn that.
Hitting him in the shoulder pad. That's why he's unable.
And look, I feel bad for Shedeur because I think he's trying to adjust something that he's needed to adjust, which is sometimes on these shorter throws, he could be a little lackadaisical. So he's trying to like be more intentional about the short throws. It just comes out of his hand a little weird, and he fucks up. You know what I mean? Like that's tough.
And he hits his target, Ray Davis, for a
Got Allen and Cooks on my fantasy, and I'm in my championship. Shameless, Christopher. Shameless. Need them to do well, but would like my 2 sacks from Miles and Shedeur to play well. Appreciate you, Christopher.
Because he can throw or run. It gives him the easiest path for a right-hand.
Yeah, like right here, Josh Allen is a little behind here. He's hot and high, but you see how the running back can kind of pirouette into catching that. That's what you wanted Quinshawn to do, and something that you're going to expect in a couple of years, Quinshawn to be able to do. But also, you know, Josh Allen's throwing that ball on the run there. He's not in the pocket 3 yards ahead of him. So, like, more excuse for that ball to be behind.
Allen will throw, connect. The tight end.
Damn, Dalton Kincaid just walked through Devin Bush.
Jackson Hawes. It doesn't matter which tight end for Buffalo. They just make things happen.
Oh, is that my boy from Georgia Tech?
Going to be Josh Allen.
That's Spencer Hawes? I mean, not Spencer Hawes, Jackson Hawes?
The defenders. They have a clear path directly to him.
Oh, I love watching him out of Georgia
Use
Tech,
the
man.
speed to get out on the edge and be able to find some.
As kicker on the line and just a really physical receiver with the ball in his hands. Really liked him.
Blue collar worker for
All right, they're already at the 30 here.
Single setback is Cook. Pinkett.
They're going to quadruple team Myles Garrett here. And Myles is going to still get some chase.
Gets out of trouble. Allen will run.
Oh, was that Myles or was that Cam Thomas?
He's wired differently.
He is wired differently. There was just all sorts of time. It felt,
I think quad
it
Cam
felt awkward
Thomas.
watching a play with that much time, but the coverage was great on the back end, so there was nowhere to go with it, and he just had to continue to buy himself some time and then find his way down the field. But like you said, built different. He talked to us about the way that he feels pain. I don't think he feels it much.
Yep.
And we're going to take this to the end of the first quarter. And you know what that means. We're going to also check in with Sleeper. Sleeper is a great place to not only do your live picks and live bets, but also a great place to just keep up with football in general. Like, one of my favorite things about the Sleeper app is you can go play by play and then you can see comments on the plays. So if we go here and we look at the Browns versus Bills here, right? Josh Allen, 5-yard run. There's 16 comments in there, and people are having a full like conversation under every play. So it's not only where you can keep up with the game, but you can get the larger context around the game. It's the only sports app that I know of that has that feature. So make sure you go check it out. We're going to use it to kind of catch up on scores here. But if you want to use Sleeper to make some picks and you want to get a $100 deposit match up to $100, my bad, use promo code Worst Take. But we're going to check on some scores around the league here. The Buccaneers are up 7-3 with the Carolina Panthers. The Bears, not the Bears. The Bears won last night. The Chargers and the Cowboys tied at 7. Bengals and the Dolphins tied at 7. Jets and the Saints tied at 3. The Vikings and the Vikings and the Giants, keep your eyes on that game if you're a Browns fan. Right now, the Vikings up by 3 in that one. And the Chiefs versus Titans, it's going into the second quarter, and it remains scoreless. That's another important one to watch. The Kansas City Chiefs, without Patrick Mahomes, put a lot of players on IR this week. So they are not the same team they came into the week as, and the Titans hungry for that third win. So Browns on alert here, because if the Giants win and the Titans win, then that puts the Browns in a very interesting position as far as draft position goes if they lose this week to the Buffalo Bills. Ooh. Yeah. At least it's like first quarter went by pretty fast.
Start of the second quarter, Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, producer Ken Mack, director Suzanne Smith. First quarter numbers, really good for the Cleveland Browns offensively. They turn it over. That puts Buffalo in this position to grab the lead. 3 tight ends in this formation. 2nd and 5 for the Bills. Shotgun handoff to Cook. Accelerates.
All right, they get them into a 3rd and 2. The Browns really got to force the Bills into more pass situations, right? Like, they've been just giving it up on the ground here, man. Like, you see 79 and 82. They're just 10 yards downfield whooping ass right now. They got to get some pushback here on this defensive line. I honestly think it's just effort here. They're not really interested in the run game. Also, they're being very aggressive upfield here.
Blocker he is at the tight end position.
This is the first 3rd down that Buffalo has faced.
Ooh. He didn't get in the neutral zone.
Ty Johnson goes to the outside. Allen will keep it himself, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, the Browns got to get the Bills out this run game stuff because it's kicking their ass right now.
There to greet him.
A designed run all the way, obviously. They pull the center around. Josh Allen follows behind him, and he uses that big frame to easily pick up the first down.
New set of downs to work with for Buffalo from the 16.
All right, 16-yard line.
Johnson remains in there.
They're gonna run again.
Allen gives it to him. The hole.
And look, every time they do it, look at this. Every time, motion right, run up the middle from the motion, and then whatever's happening is just trapping our interior defensive linemen, clear out the play because we're shading upfield. It's the same stuff that happened with Joe Woods at the end, where it's like everybody's just shading upfield, trying to get some kind of pressure instead of just maintaining their gaps. It happened again right there. This is exactly, oh, I'm getting flashbacks. Oh no, I'm getting flashbacks to 2022. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks to 2022. It's literally what they did again in 2022. The motion up the middle, brown shade upfield. It's the same shit. They're gonna do it again. They're gonna do it again. They just did it again. They ran the same play 3 times in a row. Oh my God. They just ran the same play 3 times. That's why Kevin's looking at fucking Jim Schwartz crazy right now. Like, they just ran the same play 3 times in a row. Look, it's a motion, up the middle, counter trap. Every time. They ran that play 3 times in a row.
His way into the end zone.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for the versatile Ty Johnson. And Michael Badgley, who was cut by the Colts 2 weeks ago after missing an extra point. Oh! On cue. Doink.
Did you jinx him while he was kicking?
I think I may have. It's on me, Michael.
Well, they missed the extra point, so you know that might be a vibe killer. I think it's effort at this point. I think we're seeing peak end of the year. They're exhausted. We're seeing the defensive fall off that we usually see when the team's shit at the end of the year. Would love to know if that would be a problem for this defense if the team was good, but the last 2 years haven't really given us an opportunity to see if it's just like, oh, they're not motivated, but they should be more motivated than that. So if we definitely get the Met record, how bad should we be? They made me watch this just for them to quit playing here in defense. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of topped out at my anger for this football team because I know that there's going to be big changes made. So, like, if it's not long term and it's going to be changed at the end of the season, I'm not going to be too pissed off. Just annoyed, if I'm being honest with you. It's more being annoyed than anything. Who is down? Oh, now who is down bad? 22 flashbacks. We need help. Welcome to Walmart. Stop and peek. Hit us with the welcome to Walmart. Yeah, this is that welcome to Walmart defense right here. You know what I mean? This is the welcome to Walmart defense right here. It's just straight up. Go ahead, walk up through the middle, man. This is not good. Rex Fortune says this isn't welcome to Walmart. This is curbside delivery. It's something. It's something. It's something. And I'm wondering, like, what happens to the offense once they're out of like these kind of like these like trick plays and gimmicks that they've run so far. I'm worried about what that turns into and what that makes this game turn into. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's the same play. It's the same play. Motion and then a trap run up the middle. They keep getting us on the motion because we're shading upfield towards the motion every single time. Watch the defensive tackles, every single one of them guilty, shading upfield. And then you got only Carson Schlesinger to fill the gap. Carson Schlesinger gets picked up by the guard, and then they run up the middle behind it. It's the same fucking play. They ran that play 8 times. Like, it's the same fucking play, dude. Like, there's no way around it. If this continues, pull out the Nutcracker music when they're on defense. Ah, man, they've been so good this year. I don't want to pull out the Nutcracker music, man. It's that'd be a damn. Like 2022 deserved it because they were so bad all year. But man, this is a sad way for this defense to go out after being so good for most of the year. Last few games make me ask is how important was Collins? I don't think it's Collins. I think that's just like a correlation, not a causation. I think it's just the effort. Like when they're running the same play 4 times and it works, that's not because you're missing a player, it's working. It's because you're not locked in. You know what I mean? That to me is just you're not locked in mentally. You know what I mean? Because you're just kind of running through the motions.
Browns get it back at the 29-yard line.
Browns had good field position on offense all day. They run the ball with Judkins, and that's going to be about a 2-3 yard gain. But yeah, I really don't want to put this all on Maliek Collins, man. Like it's more or less, I think the defensive line is just, well, not just the defensive line, the entire defense, they're just not locked in anymore. Like this is just screaming, oh, they're not locked in. You know, like we've seen the defense when they're locked in, because they'll have portions like this the last few weeks where they look completely off, like their mind is far away from the game, and then oh shit, they almost got intercepted again. And then they'll have moments where they just lock in randomly, and you're like, oh, they can stop the play because they're focused, but they're just not locked in. They're getting caught off guard by a trap. Like it's just they're not locked in. That's it. They're 3-11. It's cold. The team fucking sucks. They're not locked in. It's not an excuse, by the way. Like it's not really acceptable for Jim Schwartz to have these guys be this disconnected. And it's probably why Jim Schwartz might not be back next year, despite having a really, really good defense. You know, it's unfortunate, you know, that we keep being in this situation where we have to talk about that being the reason why the defense is falling off. It's the second year in a row we're doing this. Shedeur trying to escape here does a good job, and he's going to get the first down. Fun play there.
It was chaos around him, and he emerges with a first down, 13 yards.
Wow, what an escape. You're going to see him duck down. It's a great way to not...
He just ducked under the arm.
Also keep your balance and center of gravity, and then he slips through the line of scrimmage and is able to get up for the first down.
I will say, I think the one thing that Deshaun has helped Shedeur with is that kind of stuff, being slippery in the pocket, because you see Shedeur using a lot of those Deshaun Watson moves. And look, the one thing about Deshaun's game that's never gone away is his slipperiness in the pocket.
And he does throw it away if he needs to. Also said he's the same guy every single day.
I think I give some of that, like if there's anybody giving him any tips there, I think that's Deshaun being really useful there, because Deshaun is low-key one of the better quarterbacks in recent memory at doing stuff like that. He still was good at it even before the Achilles tear, you know. Like there's a lot of Deshaun Watson in that aspect of his game that I'm seeing.
In 2023, Kevin Stefanski is one coach of the year twice in his career. Ups and downs have been pretty drastic for this franchise. They obviously feel good about the young players that they have and the ones that have contributed at a high level. It just hasn't translated to a whole lot of wins. Hand off to Judkins.
Run game's starting to get less and less effective. Run game's starting to get less and less effective. It was super effective early. They have kind of adjusted.
Bunch of rookies playing, that generally means that it hasn't been great leading up to that point, but it also means great things for your future. And they have rookies leading the team in passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, and tackles. So all the major categories, young guys, hopefully providing more of a bright future for the Cleveland Browns.
Second down and 8 for Cleveland. shotgun Sanders.
A little play action here. Sanders dumps it off,
It's handled by Judkins.
and it's gonna be a first down.
First down. Into Buffalo territory.
Yeah, Sly says 4 has to be teaching 12 evasiveness. I think that's something that Deshaun's probably giving them some tips on. Because Deshaun was always way more slippery than his like athletic profile allowed him to be, or you would think his athletic profile allowed him to be, because he wasn't like the fastest guy or the biggest guy, but he would just find a way to be slippery. And, you know, it's like jujitsu watching him evade damage in the pocket. And I have to imagine Shador's gotten some of that help from Deshaun as he falls to the ground kind of awkwardly here.
And
Let's get up, dog.
appears to be okay. 6 yards.
Another good job taking advantage of his legs. Doesn't have to do it all the time, but when there's holes that big and you're able to escape through that wide open D gap between the guard and the tackle, you have to take it. He did.
Defense went from hurt syndicate to we're hurt people.
They barely grazed him.
Shoestring tackle.
A give to Sanders. Raheem Sanders looking at a
All right, third and short.
Pickup.
Third and short. Browns in a good position here.
Defensively there for Buffalo. We sat down with Shador.
You'll take a field goal here if you get it.
I've always loved the responsibility of being quarterback, of motivating your guys and taking the initiative. But he acknowledged it's hard. When you're the third stringer, how does leadership work? And you got to sit back and listen. You're moved up to second string, you got to respect the guy in front of you. Now it's on his shoulders. Third down and 2.
They're bringing out Aiden Huntington.
Sanders, a nice little shake and bake to get the.
Oh, he's gonna get the touchdown. He's got the.
No, you don't. Shador Sanders.
They're just leaning on him running. Great job there adjusting out of that because that play was blown up. Little fake here, dump off.
Defender is.
And again, good escapability here, man.
That's just a football.
I'll give him credit. I didn't think he would be escapable in the NFL level, so he's done a good job finding that slipperiness at the NFL level.
To get it done in addition to the arm.
A lot of different personnel groups here for Cleveland offensively in the first half. They just had Aiden Hutchinson.
Ball on the 20.
Lineman in there at the fullback spot. Now they have Zach Zinner, extra offensive lineman.
Looks like he's going to take a shot. Nope, then dump this off.
To Judkins.
And Judkins gets to the 10, almost scores.
The contact and drives it into
All right, Browns within 3. The tightest, could take the lead because they missed the extra point. Nothing fucks up the vibe more than missing an extra point, man. Nothing fucks up the vibe more than missing an extra point. The Bills are proving it right now. 12 knows what's on the line. I don't know if it stops the Browns, but we'll see.
All day long, putting the ball into the hands of Judkins.
I just like that he's progressing, playing well, playing in structure, getting the ball out on time.
This is the 10th play of the drive for Cleveland.
Utilizing his checkdowns.
It's a handoff. Judkins
Ooh, great job by Jordan Poyer.
right at the line of scrimmage.
Was that Poyer? Yeah.
Poyer.
Poyer. Woo! Poyer filled the gap, man. Look at 21 on this replay. Look at that. Hit a wall. Woo!
Right in the middle of that defense.
We asked Poyer, we said, look, my cleats were hung up for 2 months. I wasn't sure if I was coming back, but this opportunity came up. I love playing for Buffalo, and here he is playing important minutes in a leadership position.
And he said he was okay with that. He said, my cleats were hung up and I was okay with it. But I think he's having a little more fun now.
Sanders throws, juggle, and dropped.
Yeah, they're ready for anything that could come out of that.
Gonna have a touchdown. Instead, it's incomplete, and Tre'Davious White helped make sure of it.
Yeah. Tre'Davious White.
These Aiden Huntington at fullback plays, you know, I like him. I like the ideal of it, but we have not been good at him.
An ability to break up the play.
Joey Bosa, I think, got a hand on that too.
Go.
Oh no, they're taking Shador off the field. Did he get hurt?
They're again making.
Oh, concussion specialist.
It looked like
Yeah, the concussion specialist took him off the field.
with his helmet off. check in with Evan.
Yeah, he rushed right off the field, headed to the locker room or the tent right now. It's his pinky finger. Appeared to either be his nail or the tip of the finger with some blood attached to it. Obviously in some pain, but came right off, hanging outside the blue tent right now.
And grabbing his nose.
Pinky's definitely bloody there.
Yeah, let's boo the fucking quarterback coming in because of injury at the goal line. That's going to help the team win. He hurt his pinky. Did he break it or something?
Dylan Gabriel is in for Cleveland on a 3rd and goal. Gabriel in the pocket. Gabriel trying to run, and he gets chopped down by Rousseau.
Yep, kick the field goal. Hey, 13-10, you'll take it.
Because they think they took out Shador to put in Gabriel. They don't know that there's an issue with his pinky. I think thinking back to that play where they took Shador off a couple weeks ago.
So the Browns have to settle for a field goal attempt here with Andre Schmidt. The holder is Corey Bojorquez, former Buffalo Bills punter. A chip shot of 24 yards for Schmidt. Trying to cut into the lead. And he nails it. Promising drive stalls inside the 5. It's 13-10. Bills.
We've dreamed of making this movie ever since we were kids. Action! Now, we need to find a snake for our snake movie. There's snakes around here. I can feel it. What does it feel like? It's just very snaky. Is that like a technical term? What the hell is that? Ice Cube! Yay. Respect. Rated PG-13 in theaters Wednesday.
This is twice the fans have done this to Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. I mean, like, I know the first time people were like, oh man, they were actually like showing a replay on the field and that's what they were booing. That one's kind of like less debatable. Like they were just straight up booing him. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Dylan Gabriel hasn't had the most impressive run as a Cleveland Browns starter, but like this is a bit excessive, right? It feels a bit excessive. But hey, the fuck do I know? I will say in the stadium, you don't know why. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're in shotgun with like no gimmicks out there and they're running a straight up play and Shador's not on the field, that they didn't do that by choice. I guess that would take some common sense, but you know, and most people down there are blitzed out their fucking mind, right? Like, so maybe that's not something that you think of, but it's still like, damn, bro. I don't know what happened. It looked like he had a bloody pinky.
Came on the field as we showed you. Shador Sanders immediately coming off.
I think it's because he's bleeding. He has to be taken off the field.
In the locker room, we have a closer view of that pinky finger and a clear laceration at the tip there. Could involve the nail in the skin. Again, he can.
I was at the game the first time they were booing the Jumbotron. Yeah, I know, Sly. You told me about that.
Sanders has been excellent. 10 of 13, 109 yards, a touchdown, a pick. Sanders also 3 carries for 35 yards. Ray Davis, the return man for Buffalo. And he takes it to the 32-yard line, hit by Miles Harden on special teams. So, Josh Allen and the Bills with another opportunity here to put some points on the board. Last week, JJ, they were down 21-0 to the New England Patriots. They ended up scoring touchdowns on 5 consecutive drives, bridging the second quarter and then the second half.
Yeah, They just find a way to play better football in the second half, and we tried to ask them, is there some halftime speech, some motivational tactic? They said, no, we just simply execute. We go in, we say, let's call
Oh,
it out,
man.
let's execute better.
James Cook saw a touchdown, and he just dropped the ball.
Drop there by James Cook, incomplete, 2nd and 10. NFL Today update, Adam Schott.
Hi, JJ. A lot of action so far with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott to George Pickens, 38 yards to score, 17-14 Dallas. Back to you.
All right, Adam. Yeah, we asked Josh about what was said at halftime. He said, didn't really have to say anything other than, hey, we're good, relax. He looked around the room.
Now, remember, the Browns got the ball to start the game, so they need to avoid giving up a touchdown here.
Throws it and perfectly placed.
That's not going to do it.
Got a hit along the sideline.
Also, like, no Denzel Ward changes a lot.
Right at midfield. 18 yards.
This is man coverage, and Khalil Shakir is just going to go across the formation, knows once he wins on that inside, he's got the leverage, and then the missed tackle allows for some extra yardage. But when you get that man coverage with outside leverage, the crossing route's going to be a good one.
They have had a bunch of missed tackles in this first half. Jim Schwartz, coach for the Buffalo Bills.
Boy.
And James Cook, with Cook and Johnson in there, he carries it for another Buffalo first down. That's a 15-yard rip.
And Dawson Knox makes a nice block here out on the edge to seal the corner. He had 2 touchdowns receiving.
Offense is just so easy for Buffalo right now.
That number 1.
Everything is just so easy for them. Look at the push that they're getting. 66 is McGovern is on our linebacker. Like, just everything is just way too easy at the first and second level for them right now. It's just way too easy.
Division title with 1 game separating them and New England after the come from behind last week versus the Pats. And for Cooks.
Why are we shading your field again?
32 by Ronnie Hickman. Hollywood's biggest party is now bigger than ever, with more stars, more glamour, and
They're getting their ass beat. They're getting beat up by the Bills right now.
Paramount Plus.
And we talked about earlier how they're running the ball and not giving Myles Garrett a chance to rush the passer. Joe Brady said, I didn't want an elephant in the room this week. I told the guys, I said, yeah, there's a record on the line, but it's not going to be this week. Clearly, so far, the running game helping keep that.
Allen on time to Shavers.
I thought that was Sammy Watkins for a quarter of a second. I was like, ain't no way they brought back Sammy Watkins.
Don't quite know who's going to be
Tyrell Shavers.
No.
Yeah, look, see, that's focus. That's just not being locked in. Webb just completely crashes into the line, doesn't pay attention to his overhead responsibility. This is just the defense is not locked in right now. And then same fucking play, brother. Same fucking play. With motion, trap, middle, bam. Same fucking play, brother. Same fucking play. Oh my God. They've hit it 9 times, dog. 9 times.
Based on where his knee went down.
Mighty says go Browns. Absolutely.
Same play. They love doing it.
They're going to run the same play. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming again. Yep. They ran the same play. It's look at his face. They're like, wow, it's still working.
Week in and week out, just try to do the little.
It's the same play. Unbelievable. He got it. He landed on Carson. He got it. Yeah, it's the same fucking play, man. It's the same play every time, brother. Like, legit, watch. It's always the motion, and then it's a snake up the middle on the trap. Got a super chat here. Says from BM Browns, if this is the only Browns game you watch this season, you think we draft defense all season, Miles is not going to get the record. I think Miles will still get the record. He's like, what, 2 sacks away? He'll probably get the record. 3 games? Well, he's probably going to get a sack in this game at least, Ty. Would the D line getting out the wide 9 help? No, they're not locked in, man. It's not anything complicated. They're not, when a team is running the same play on you over and over again, it has nothing to do with personnel or whatever you're doing schematically. Like, it can be affected by that. But like when the teams run the play, the amount of times that the Bills have run it, it's working because you're not paying attention, right? That's what's happening. It's working because you're not paying attention, and you're not paying attention because you're not locked in, right? Like that. That's why it's working. It's an effort thing. Brady playing Madden against Schwartz right now. Oh, Joe Brady. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Why would you do anything else, right? What happened there? Was that out the zone? So that's going to be at like the 40. The Browns had good field position offensively all game. Why does the Bills run game look like Tecmo Bowl right now? I know what Tecmo Bowl is. I'm not too young to know. I never played it, but I know it's too young right now. Okay. But yeah, it's just they're
Is throwing in any way, shape, or form. He's 10 of 30.
Appreciate the super chat, Electronica.
First half.
Electronic cornbread.
The running play to Judkins.
All right, the Browns probably going to let that run to the 2-minute. Joseph says the defense is cooked. Injuries have caught up. It's not great, man. It's not great.
Obviously, being on the ball and having something, but
I think they're cooked, like, injury-wise. They've had some injuries that's hurt them, but I think, like, mentally they have gotten to that part of the season. You know what I mean?
That's it. So I just tackle him, man. I just tackle him. He ripped that thing off in the end. The Jets. 20-10, 2 in the morning.
The way this defense is playing, he's not going to get the record. He's going to get the record. They've been playing like this for 3 weeks. He's gotten a sack a game. If he gets a sack a game, he breaks the record. Like, I wouldn't overreact. Let's see what happens in the second half. They've had a tendency to lock in the second half a little bit more after like these shitty first halves. Like, this is the first time the Browns defense has done this. We'll see what happens. Alex Church says, ready for a full coaching staff clear out after this. Yeah, it looks like that's probably the way things are going, right? The way that the reports are positioning things, it looks like it's leaning towards that, because the report that dropped about Andrew Berry being in charge, that is specifically because they're preparing to fire Kevin probably, and they don't want the perception to be that it was Jimmy Haslam that fired Kevin. Because Jimmy doesn't want that perception on him. That if that's a decision that's made, it's an Andrew Berry decision. So that's what they're doing that for. And I think that we're probably going to see a new coach here in about a month. I'm always excited to watch the Browns play, but seeing them not care is pretty frustrating. I get it in a way, but come on, people pay to watch it. They should be given a better effort than this, man. Like, I agree with you, especially defensively. I think offensively they've actually had a good effort. But yeah, offensively they've been putting together a decent effort. Defensively, it's just like, injuries are one thing. Not having Malik Collins is one thing, but dogs, they're running the same fucking play. Like, they're running the same fucking play on you, dog. Like, they've ran that play like 10 times on you. It's worked every time. Every time they're in a money situation, they go to the play, and then they'll run the play right after they just ran the play. Back to back. They've done it like every time they've been in the red zone. Like, if you aren't ready for that, you aren't paying attention if you're the Browns defense. And I think that's what's happening here. They look checked out. We'll see if Shedeur can throw with that wrap on his pinky finger.
Couldn't get to the end zone. They had to settle for a field goal. Now trailing 20-10. Sanders will throw it. And the open field tackle is made by Mo.
Nah, it's not a fumble, right?
Judkins.
No way.
The other way with it.
No way they're going to call that a fumble, right?
Whistle dead, we believe.
And it looks like Judkins is hurt. Oh, my fucking God. No. That looks bad. That looks really, really bad. He's not reacting well. That looks like he might have fucked his knee up. Please don't let it be that. Please don't let it be that. Oh, for the love of God. Please don't let it be that.
Step aside as they deal with Judkins on the field.
100 years.
Oh, God. Please let it just be a stinger, scare, something like that. I don't know. He looks like he's in pretty. He looks like he knows what it is, and he's pretty hurt. And he looked in a lot of pain, or at least very, very upset. I'm always okay. Yeah, we got slide 12 improving his faults. EA game. Each game is impressive. Yeah, I say that. I think it's good that he's showing progress. And this week's a little bit better. I think they protected him a lot in the game plan. They haven't really asked him to do anything kind of crazy, but you can only do what you're asked to do, right? And he's done it well. More concerned about. Alex says, have we played complimentary football in any game? I would say the Dolphins game, we played complimentary football. We played complimentary football in the Dolphins game. That's the only time. Please walk off the field. Card is out. Fuck. Not good, man. Not good.
Quinshon Judkins. We are electing not to show it.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. If they're electing not to show, it's fucking bad.
Get him to the locker room. We'll come back and resume play after this.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's young, so he can recover from it when within the 6 to 8 month time frame. Maybe he's back by October next year. And maybe he's ready, looking like himself by November next year. But it's a setback, man. There's no doubt about it. He was a fantastic player for us this year. And look, he'll come back from that injury, and he'll have some good years after that injury for sure. I don't think this is a career ender, obviously, for him. He's 22? So he'll get back, but you just hate to see anybody in a season like this look like they tore their ACL. That's what it looked like happened. Hopefully it's something less than that, and it's not as bad as it looked, but it looked like he was in pain there, man. This is slowly becoming the worst case scenario with this bad season. It's not optimal, man. It's not what you wanted. It's not what you wanted. Oh, this season has been fucking brutal. This season's been brutal.
Is a right lower leg injury for talented rookie Quinshon Judkins moments ago being carted off the field. Browns do not have Dylan Sampson as well. He's out with a hand injury. Raheem Sanders is next up in the rotation as Cleveland faces a 3rd and 12 with 1:57 to go. They were also charged with timeout. Injury in the last 2 minutes. Sanders trying to bounce out of trouble. Buys time. He throws high in between two receivers. One too high for and then one too short for. It was Fannin who was on the front end of it. Incomplete.
Yeah, they took away his check down. Had some decent time in the pocket to start, and then once the check down wasn't there, had to go into more of scramble mode, and then tries to get it.
I think that finger's affecting his ability to throw the football right now. Okay, this is exactly what you did not want to have happen in this game. You're giving Buffalo the ball back with 3 timeouts and 1:49 left. Remember, Buffalo gets the ball to start the second half. It's brutal. There's no doubt about it. A brutal sequence of events there, man.
As well, was making some plays. Just hate to see a young, promising player. Best.
Bills are on 21 plays. They have 209 total yards. Looking at 10 yards a pop for Buffalo.
Potential Myles Garrett territory on a 2-minute drive.
Allen throwing underneath. Shakir works his way upfield short of the first down. But a nice catch and run for Buffalo. Clock is rolling, 1:20 and counting. It's a 9-yard pickup. So far, Garrett has not been a factor. They have worked very quickly. They're handing the ball off or getting rid of it. Give him a chance. Allen.
They're just holding him now.
Out of there. There's a
Oh,
chance.
Miles got him.
Myles Garrett gets to the QB on the scramble.
How are they going to judge this?
Is that a safety?
Garrett 1 sack away from tying the NFL record.
He got him.
Closely, let's see who touches him.
Oh, Mason Graham stole it. Mason Graham stole it. Mason Graham stole it.
They've touched him first.
Mason Graham stole the sack. Oh, he stole the sack.
You can see the scramble trying to get there and touch him. For everybody at home, the way that it works is if a guy kind of falls down like that, it generally
It's not a safety. He didn't have the ball in the end zone.
physically touch him and confirm him down. It appears as though that
Oh, I thought he got the foot. Mason Graham stole the sack.
Garrett then touched the foot just to try to get any piece of Allen. Meanwhile, the Bills are facing a 3rd and 23 as Allen lost his footing.
we'll keep a look on the official scorebook. But I'm
Mason Graham just stole it. That's hilarious. I don't think he knew it. He was just trying to make a play. I mean, like, I'm not about to be mad at Mason Graham for trying to make a play there, obviously. If you're 3rd and 23, it's good. You completely blew up this drive, and that's going to push it halfway to the line. So, yeah, it's relax, fucking relax, people. Don't stop being weird. It's funny. You can laugh at that. That is funny. They're like, why are people upset? I don't know. Miles is going to have more opportunities at sacks. That should be a safety, by the way. They are so, like,
ball needs to be out of the end zone, and clearly it's just barely out of the end zone.
it's not out the end zone, man. That ball is on the goal line. If that's a touchdown the other way, that's got to be a safety, though.
Ty Johnson in there, and they're
I pray Miles gets the record because these fans from Dragging the Abandoner.
and Allen was
I think that play is good, though, because I think the defense maybe could use that to lock in a little bit here, right? Get some motivation, lock in a little bit here.
out for his first punt of the day. Coming up, Verizon.
And look, Buffalo could have gotten points there and really put you in a bind in the middle with the 8. I hate to be that guy, but just burn it down, fire the whole coaching staff. I don't need to see any of this BS next year. I'm tired of it. Unwatchable if we didn't have Miles with Phil on the level of 1 and 31. I don't know. I'm not. I obviously I'm okay with like Kevin being fired and everything like that, but I don't know if I feel like a lot of that anger is just like being pissed off at how this season has gone, and then also Quinshawn just tore his ACL, right? Like that's probably factoring into it. Good return by Larvin? Yeah, almost.
Packed a lot into the last 2 minutes of this second quarter.
Return, personal foul, face mask, 52-37. 15.
That's 15 yards for Cleveland now in field goal range already.
Yeah, that is a massive penalty, especially with the Browns having no timeouts.
So only 6 seconds remain. Hancock, the the guilty party is.
They said lower leg, not knee. They gave him an air cast. I'm pretty sure he broke his bone. People are saying ankle. I think that's much better than if it's his knee. I think the recovery time is longer, but like the negative future impact is not. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Extending his arm to make sure it wasn't a safety. You could see he's working that right ankle.
Yeah, and then they had the push on the next play where he obviously had the ball and then into the pile, but a very clear limp there. And they're still taking a look at him over on that side.
It's going to be a 48-yard attempt for Andre Schmidt. Chance to get some points here for Cleveland before we hit halftime. Made a 24-yard. And a timeout call.
That last play for the Browns offense was what we've talked about before, a play called grenade, where you just want to waste a couple seconds. So you throw it over the head of your receiver out of bounds on purpose to make sure that the field goal is the last play of the half. And
The shoe is off. Josh Allen is.
Josh Allen leaving the game here. Who's their backup? Who's Buffalo's backup? Is it Mitch Trubisky again, or is it is it one of those Allen brothers? Who's their fucking backup? It's Mitch.
To nowhere.
What the fuck?
And that is how the first half will end.
What just happened? Oh, Corey Bojorquez just fucks up the snap. This is just, man. Oh God. We need this season to end. Neither are great, but bone injuries are better than ligament injuries for the long term. Yeah, they're both going to be I think a bone injury is like a longer recovery time technically, but when the bone recovers, from what I can tell, right, a bone recovers fully and actually gets a little stronger when it recovers most of the time. When it's a ligament injury, you're never getting 100% from a ligament injury. So if it's a bone injury, that's better. Ankle injuries get a little bit iffy because those bones are so small. But I'm not a fucking doctor. I should stop speaking on this. Like, if you're a doctor in chat, please feel free to chime in. All right, so that's the end of the first half. Offensively for the Browns, it's pretty solid first half, especially for Browns standards. The Browns are a pretty shitty offense. They weren't shitty in the first half of that game. They could have legitimately got the 17 points. Now, Shedeur went out the game for a little bit because of a pretty nasty cut to his pinky. And he came back with something wrapped over his pinky finger. I've never been an NFL quarterback, but I imagine we're going to hear from former NFL quarterbacks if he does not have a good second half about how much having a wrap on your finger affects your feel for the ball and all of that. And I think that is definitely something that you have seen affect the Browns' ability to throw the ball right now. Quinshon Judkins just left with what looked like a pretty serious injury. So that looks like that's going to affect the Browns' ability to run the ball. And if we're looking at the other side of the ball defensively, I mean, the Browns' defense just has not shown up this week. 9 carries, 100 yards for James Cook. And like, let me tell you, all 9 of those carries, same fucking play. Dead serious. Same fucking play. All 9 of those carries. They've ran one play with James Cook. It has worked every time with James Cook. They are killing us with un play right now. 2 touchdowns, 9 carries, 100 yards. They've ran one play with James Cook. Go back and watch the highlights. You're going to see the motion, the late handoff, and then the trap up the middle. It's been the same fucking play. It's been the same play. They are running Madden out there against us. Josh Allen, only 7 pass attempts, 86 yards. Like, what? 6 of those attempts were all screens, man. Like, they haven't really put the ball in danger. Josh Allen took 1 sack. Mason Graham got the sack, stole it from Miles, which is hilarious because Miles has probably stolen like 6 sacks from Mason Graham this year. So Mason finally got his lick back. Maybe not at the best time, but he got his lick back. The story of this game has been defensively. The Browns just have not had it. I don't think they're locked in. It looks like shitty. We're 3-11, not focused defensive football at this point, right? Like, they looked pretty tuned out, if I'm being honest with you. And it's pretty unfortunate that that's the case. And that's why people will be fired at the end of the year, more than likely. But yeah. All right. Let's check some scores around the league. And the way I like to check scores around the league is with the Sleeper app. Make sure you can get a $100 deposit match up to $100 when you use Worst Take. You can use that deposit match if you are in a qualifying state. To put picks down on players. It's really fun here. The other thing I like to use with Sleeper is kind of their stat tracking and their score tracking. I think it's the best app for it, right? Like, I try to use like the ESPN app. It's super cluttered. It's super hard to get anywhere. Sleeper, you can just get to the scores tab right on the bottom of the screen. You can even get more information from each play. If you're wondering what the vibe is after it, right? I'm looking at the Chargers Cowboys game, and Dak Prescott took a sack here, and you could see people saying that's the worst thing he could have done right there. You get that extra context by reading the comments of those plays. So it's kind of interesting how they've done it there, but make sure you guys go check it out. Use the promo code Worst Take. Now let's get into some of these scores around the league. Buccaneers, Panthers. Buccaneers are down at the half, 10-13. Panthers making a run at the playoffs. Bryce Young has had a pretty solid bounce back the last couple of years here. Chargers and Cowboys, it's a shootout at half, 21-17. Bengals, Dolphins. Bengals up 17-14. Remember, the Dolphins are starting Quinn Ewers this week. Got the Jets versus Saints. Saints up 9-6. The Vikings versus the Giants, and the Giants are only down by 3. That's a team you want to watch if you think the Browns are going to lose out. Down 10-3 to the Vikings. So close game here. And Titans are up at the half, 9-6 to the Kansas City Chiefs. So interesting stuff going on around there, right? Two win teams look like they're on the verge of being a 3-win team at the half. We will see What else happens? Titans up on the Chiefs. Giants hanging in there. We look good to at least get the second pick today. Sanders look good. Going to be a weird offseason. It's always a weird offseason for sure. Yeah, I think Sanders has been pretty solid. I mean, it's not, again, the Browns game plan hasn't been like to axe a ton out of Sanders this week. So you can really only judge him by what he's done. But it's been a lot of dump offs, been a lot of like relying on like Harold Fainin and stuff like that. I do want to see him kind of not force the, well, how's he not going to force the ball to Harold Fainin when you look what's out there? I don't know. I don't know how much more you can really grab from what Shador's out there and what he's working with. But yeah, the Browns look like they're going to be in a position to get a top 2 pick here if things roll their way. And with the loss of Quinshon Judkins, for what I can only assume is going to be the entire season, and plus, obviously, that makes them just less and less likely to win games going forward. Was this Titans game at 3-2? Good gracious. There's some ugly football being played. Ugh. It's been a rough season, man. It's just been a rough season. Minshew hurt. Chiefs probably losing to the Titans. Gardner Minshew got hurt. Who's in there now? Who is Gardner Minshew's backup? Let me see. Dude, they got Chris Oladokun in there? Damn. I mean, he's doing better than Minshew was. Minshew was 3 of 8. At least he's 6 of 8. And it's on the road. We'll see what happens. By the way, thank you for the super chat, Sly. All right, we're going to have to time you out for that one. That was a crazy thing to put in chat. Yeah, we have to, you're going to have to be kicked out for about like the whole game for that one. Don't ever say some shit like that. Nero. Yeah, the whole you're hoping for a Shador injury, that's crazy. You're timed out for a day, buddy. That's insane. And mods, if we see stuff like that, Ray Rags, you want to be a mod? Yeah. You do that kind of shit, you're out for the day at the very least. That's fucked up. We ain't doing none of that. Yeah, Ray Rags is a mod. Yeah, Sly, you want to be a mod? I can make you a mod real quick. Yeah, I've been pretty consistent on this no matter who the player is. If you wish injury on a player, whether it is a player on the Browns, obviously, or a player on another team, and even if that player is hated, I don't give a fuck. You don't do that. We don't do that. That will immediately get you banned from chat. Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Helping could have been a one-score game, but we'll see how Shador throws the ball around in the second half with that pinky.
So Allen and Sanders look to be ready to go, and we are underway in the second half.
All right, let's see if the Browns defense can come back to life here.
Second half, Ray Davis, the return man.
Better effort there on the kick return. The Browns defense has been pretty garbage in the first half the last couple of weeks. Better in the second half.
Hey, Coach, able to move the ball at times offensively. What do you need to do to cut into this lead?
We need to score touchdowns in the red zone. We need to come away with a touchdown down there. Then obviously need to convert points. But this next 30 minutes will be about our ability to stop number 4, we haven't done a great job in the run defense. If we can play well against the run, we'll have a chance.
Tough to see your running back Quinshawn go down. How does that impact things offensively?
Yeah, obviously my heart hurts for him. I just got to spend some time with him in there, but he'll bounce back, and we expect anybody who's out there to step up.
Kevin, thanks.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah, lower leg injury for Junkins late in the second quarter as Cook is tackled by Ronnie Hickman. James Cook has now gone over 100 yards rushing 9 times this season. That is the highest total in the NFL, and Cook is trying to win himself the 2025 rushing title.
He's doing a great job of it so far today, and he obviously has his offensive line to thank as well, but his vision, his cuts, his speed, total package.
Allen rolling, throwing to Joshua Palmer.
All right, 35, much better.
The end of the first half when Josh Allen was trying to escape the pressure, and then Myles Garrett and Mason Graham had a beat on him. The NFL has determined that Allen gave himself up, JJ, so that changes things a bit.
So it's not even a sack.
Tip of the ball across the line, and that's why it wasn't a safety. I'd like to take that back. And the NFL has said that the reason it wasn't a safety was that he had been deemed giving himself up before ever getting to the end zone.
The sack was given to Mason Graham.
Okay, they gave the sack.
To Myles Garrett, who remains 1 sack behind, tying the record a sack and a half from setting a new single-season record.
Good job.
Quick hitter.
Much better effort there. See, the defense woke up a little bit.
With Miles Harden, a 1-yard pickup, and it's 4th down. Great.
Now, if you're a Browns fan, this is going to start to feel very familiar. The Browns have done this a lot, where they sit with like a 10-point lead for like 13 uncomfortable third quarter minutes, and the defense is getting 3 and outs, and the offense is getting 3 and outs. But yeah, we'll see here. We'll see. Best defense, nothing in best in Cleveland. This is like a troll. Oh man, you trolled me. Oh God, he said nothing's best in Cleveland. Oh my God, my fucking heart is burning. He's such a good troll. I'll give you some positive attention. Somebody's got to do it. Have fun going to school tomorrow, man. Oh shit. Yeah. Well, defense got the 3 and out. That was big. That was big. I mean, like the middle 8 could have killed them, and they were able to stop the middle 8 there. So that's good. Thank you, K Brown, for becoming a member. Did somebody just gift a bunch of subs? Yep. Sly with the 10 gifted. Appreciate you, Sly.
AFC West Showdown. St. Nick's and the Broncos meet Travis Kelce and the Chiefs under the holiday lights at Arrowhead. Broncos, Chiefs, Christmas night. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
All right. Hey, Browns can score here, make it interesting. They're only down 10. Defense looks like it's woken up the last couple of drives, so they can make this interesting. And look, the Bills love to make it interesting. Happy holidays to Q and the chat from Tribo Cavs. Appreciate you. Oh, Browns Cavs. Appreciate you.
Myles Garrett, he has been held in check. Bills have snapped the ball very quickly. They've worked around Garrett to the other side, mostly on the right. Browns couldn't get a clean field goal attempt before the end of the first half.
Yeah, right now for the Browns, I mean, like, it's more or less, you got to force Buffalo out the run game before you can force them into a pass situation with the score right now. Because Buffalo's going to run the ball, feel very comfortable with it no matter what happens here. Shedeur just turned very awkwardly after that throw. Is he okay?
The injury to Sanders, we saw the result. We didn't see how it happened, and now we did.
He's down there at the bottom. Looks like there's, oh, man, right on the pinky there, and now he's going to have to deal with that the rest of the game. He has a bandage on it. Didn't have a problem with it there on the first pass in the second half. You can see the numbers before and after it, but didn't seem to be an issue.
Sanders was in a very good rhythm prior
All right.
to the pinky injury.
3rd and 1. Merry Christmas, Q, and all the real Browns fans from Silverlicious. Appreciate you.
3-yard pickup.
Shedeur told us that every single week he's working on something new, something that he's trying to improve on. And Coach Kevin Stefanski said the biggest thing he's been working on with him is climbing up in the pocket after he hits that last step of his drop back. So once he gets back to the top of his drop, don't stay there. Work up in the pocket, keeping the eyes downfield. Something that Shedeur's done great today is the ability to escape the pocket when necessary. Yards with his legs, in addition to 3 yards.
Undrafted free agent Raheem Sanders in the backfield on 3rd and short.
And
Sanders
got it.
trying to get there and will.
Run by Sanders.
Cole Bishop.
Doobie man, appreciate you.
Sanders kept those legs moving for a first down.
Keeping the legs moving is right. He had
Oh, Sly just sent another 10 gifted. Appreciate you, Sly.
driving through the line, able to get a first down.
Browns have been the worst second half team in the NFL this season. They're minus 89 in scoring differential. They have just 3 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter all season. Make the handoff. Sanders.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
Daquan Jones comes away with it. Joey Bosa getting a piece.
Wow. Bosa read the play perfectly from the start. Wasn't fooled by Harold Fannin. Blocking and then releasing. Gets up in Shedeur's face. Bats it up in the air. Take a look here. Bosa will not.
Let me see what happened here.
Block and release. He sees it. Gets back outside. Shedeur's looking downfield for a deep throw. Instead decides on the check.
Yeah, it's a great play by Joey Bosa.
Jones.
Who would I take with the top 5 pick if not a quarterback? I'm gonna be honest with you. None of the offensive linemen you would like. You would probably trade back to like 10. None of the wide receivers make sense within the top 5. None of the offensive linemen make sense within the top 5, but they do make sense in the later part of the top 10. Sly says, happy holidays, Chet. I'll be out next week. Appreciate you, Sly.
It is a foot injury. Had x-rays, those were negative. Obviously, he's out on the field, not showing any ill effects from it. And he did tell us that he likes pain because that lets him know he's alive.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty deep when he said that.
Hey, this is going to be an opportunity here for Miles if they don't run it. It's going to be one-on-one here with just a chip.
So the fact that I feel things now means I'm alive. Thankful to be
Oh, my God. Did Dalton Kincaid catch that?
And he is not going to feel this because they could not complete it to Kincaid.
Okay, he must have not got that other foot down.
He was out of bounds.
He got that first foot down. Ooh, they might want to challenge that.
because we
One.
yesterday.
Okay, just out.
Doesn't he? Just a fast twitch.
One.
Oh, wait a second. Hang on here.
I think he might have grazed it. It's close. Okay, he's on the line.
Oh, we're gonna need to bring Gene in here because this is one I've always had questions on where that front cleat technically touched.
I don't think they're gonna get it. But it's close.
The challenge. We'll have the ruling. We'll get Gene's thoughts when we return to Cleveland. Buffalo in front.
For Mom,
I thought she didn't want anything.
well, like when she says she doesn't want any fries.
Eats all her fries.
Exactly. What if we get her the new iPhone 17 Pro at AT&T? We can get the best deal without needing the most expensive plan.
Good call.
And you know, she loves her selfies.
Who's that?
No clue.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition, most expensive plan now required. Plus switch and we'll pay off your phone balance.
It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda wonderland of your own with a great offer on an electrifying new Honda. Hurry into your local Honda dealer and experience the wonder of Happy Honda Days today.
What do you think they're gonna say? You think they're gonna say he caught it? I think his cleat is touching out of bounds. His cleat is touching out of bounds slightly. It was close though. I know you got that plant leg now. I was surprised they ruled it out of bounds so quickly and didn't even like discuss it. The aura of G new handshake would have kept them from challenging that. just Sean McDermott in awe of the DAP. Just like, oh my God, did you see that? Just in awe of the DAP would then decide to do nothing there. I don't think they wanted to challenge because it looks like the ball is still pretty far back, but we'll see.
See more information at
They're still looking at it.
The Bills did not win the challenge.
It's just out of bounds. I'm going to catch flack for this, but at what point does the numbers start to matter to everyone? He hasn't been good enough to deny how many games. Good to deny how many games has he thrown? Yeah.
Now it's a third day.
All right, Miles, get busy.
Shotgun. Allen. Out of the pocket. And Allen going to chuck it away. Incomplete.
They're going to kick a field goal here.
Pressure came from Schlesinger.
Good job.
Huntington. Okay, let's bring in Gene Steratore so he can take us through what he saw, what the NFL was looking at. Gene?
Yeah, and what I'm looking at, guys, is look, we've gotten to this frame-by-frame world, and when we look at it this way, JJ, your point's well taken. Like, did the front part of this toe hit inbounds before the knuckles of the toes bend? Or what happens on the next frame, right? I mean, it has gotten to that place, but remember, we got to at some point get back to clear and obvious. Can't make definitive decision one way or the other, and I think they stayed with the stands for that reason.
And the field goal is good from 40.
All right. 23-10. Browns need to get some points here. Let's see what Shador can do. He's fresh off an interception. Let's see if he bounces back here. I mean, the finger injury might. If he's not comfortable throwing the ball with that finger injury, then you got to probably take him off the field at some. Yeah, just keep playing your game, man. Browns defense starting to stiffen up here, though, so that's good news, right? The run game not killing them. It's not been an embarrassment. They're starting to tighten up here. The adjustments in the second half seem to be working here. We can see if the Browns offense can. They get good field position as Malachi Corley does a good job returning that ball to about the 33.
Our thoughts go out to Quinshon Judkins, what happened earlier, but what he did this week in the community is to be applauded. His inaugural winter warm-up at Gate Academy. Judkins provided hot meals, new coats for families. He was joined by fellow rookie Shador Sanders during the festivities centered around giving back during this holiday season. Judkins, first year out of Ohio State, and I just love what he's brought to the team, his physicality and tenaciousness. First down for Cleveland. Sanders give for Sanders. That's Raheem with the carry going up the middle. And guess what? He was tackled by Sanders. TJ. That's a whole lot of Sanders.
Sanders.
Oh, my gosh. It is. Can't even say it fast enough.
It is cold here. It does affect your jaw.
Triple Sanders.
Second down and 6 now for Cleveland. Cleveland got off to such a terrific start.
2nd and 6 here.
Rolling on the second drive.
I mean, they've gotten good field position all game. I think if you're Buffalo, you got to be pretty disappointed with how you've managed field position in this one. I'm expecting the Browns to be pretty like negative in expected points this week. So they really should have more than 10 points right now. 3rd and short, though. See if we can convert.
Also, what happens when you're facing number 2 defense?
And they're going quick here. Line of scrimmage just short of the 42. Offside. Sanders.
Okay, Rocket Sanders.
And a flag thrown at the 38-yard line. He broke 2 tackles to take it inside Buffalo territory at the 49. Jovinovic.
Offside. Defense number 98.
Decline it.
Way offside. Not even a little bit offside. Helmet is all up in the space of the ball there. But a nice run by the Browns. Regardless.
We approach 8 minutes to go in the third. Buffalo comfortably in front, 23-10.
And around. It's space. Good tackle by Jordan Poyer.
Carries it out near the 35. Good block from Brendan Bates. Corley was originally a 3rd-round pick of the Jets last season.
They found some success on these jet sweeps. We saw the reverse earlier in the game that had success. That strategy of getting the ball out to the perimeter.
All right, Browns moving the ball here.
For the Browns today. Continuing to go back to that well.
Browns are over 100 yards rushing, 109 on the afternoon. Buffalo comes in 30th in the league against the run.
Good,
Sanders.
solid run there for 4 yards.
Andre Jones elevated from the practice squad, 3-yard pickup there for Sanders.
With the run game rolling like this, expect to see at some point play action off of it, whether that's a boot or some form of run fake to then set up something behind the linebackers, try and get the linebackers to bite up on the run, throw the ball in behind them.
Shedeur Sanders opened the day 8 of 8, 84 yards and a touchdown. Since then, 4 of 10, 25 yards and 2 picks. Pick the run.
He's out of there. Just get out of there.
Sanders on the move. And he's down inside the 30. Aaron Johnson with a penalty marker.
Saw on the fucking move. Oh, not only does your quarterback take a big hit there unnecessarily because he just had to slide out. Well, it's not Shedeur's fault, but he takes a big hit there. Flushes out the pocket. KT loses contain, and then you get the holding penalty. So even the yards you gain there is just all for nothing. You're back to 2nd and 17. You're out of field goal range.
Around the waist of the defender, and then his momentum go backward. That's why he threw the flag.
Back it up now to the 44. Travion Williams gets his turn in the backfield. 2nd and 17. Swing pass. Caught by Williams. He got hit up high and down low. Bernard in there.
All right, it only took Kevin, this from Ray Rag, Super Chat. It only took Kevin till he was on the brink of getting fired for these reverses. They've been trying to run for 5 years to finally work. This is the funniest, like the honest to God, the least impressive run game year for Kevin Stefanski of his career. The reverses finally work. Like he had Nick Chubb in his prime. They were running the ball like 6 yards a clip. Just amazing run game production. And none of the reverses worked. But this year, the reverses are working.
2013 and the Denver Broncos. Jump off. After the
Yeah, Shedeur don't feel comfortable pushing it downfield right now. There's a penalty here.
on at the 41.
Might be illegal. Man downfield.
Personal foul. Good thing.
Wow, that's a bailout. That's a huge bailout there by Buffalo.
It's Matt Milano. It's going to cost the Bills. Milano looking to the big screen. He wants
That's a huge bailout.
Yeah, you'll see it here. He kind of slips down.
Blue Feather, thank you for the membership.
Right leg out, realizing that Judy cut back.
Wow, you didn't have to do any of that shit. What a fucking bailout there.
There.
Yeah, it's a huge mental mistake. I mean, it's 3rd and 16, brother. I'll take it.
First down in addition to the yardage.
keeps the drive alive at the 24.
It's going to be false start.
That right side started moving in one direction. And it's KT Leviston.
Out of flags. Find a rhythm here.
So they'll go extra offensive lineman. Zach Zinter, as Bill Vinovich just announced it to the crowd. Worth a 5:22 mark of the third. Browns are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Also trying to spoil Buffalo's because they've been hot. 3 straight wins after a 3-4 stretch. Play action.
Oh boy.
But this time it's incomplete. Deion Walker is
Hey, look, if he can't put anything on it, he has to get out the fucking game. Like, if he can't put anything on that football, okay, it got tipped. I thought that's what it looked like coming out.
The further you get up into his face, the higher your hands can get in his vision.
He might be built like an ice cream cone, but he's good.
Into the giant arms of Deion Walker.
third batted pass today. 2 of them have led to INTs. 2nd and 15. Sanders, the run it.
He's got space.
Sanders will slide down
It's going to be short.
15.
It's going to be a 3rd and 1.
It's going to be just short of the first down.
Yep, remember, you're marked down where you initiate the slide, not where you end up or not where somebody touches you. So you can see there, started the slide short of the first down marker.
And the Hall of Famer Deion Sanders watching his son Shador perform out here for Cleveland. 4 carries, 49 yards. Yep, he's on TV. He's always aware. A whistle. The late handoff.
There you go.
To Raheem Sanders. Took a little while to get there, but
It's been a long drive for a drive that started pretty early. Well, pretty deep in territory.
hit the 4-minute mark of the third quarter.
Just marching the ball down the field, taking what the defense gives them. Like we talked about earlier, those deep shots and deep plays haven't been there. So you have to just work with what you got, and that's the run game, the perimeter, these little underneath throws.
Well, Kevin Stefanski mentioned it with his halftime chat with Evan Washburn. Got to get touchdowns when you get down here. And Sanders.
Good run by Rocket. And that's a first down.
Extra effort extending his arm.
Sanders has been carrying the run game, both of them, Rocket and Shador.
By Raheem Sanders.
You see a little block right here and then a kick out right here. Sanders is just going to follow it up. It's a great execution, a huge cut by him to be able to get behind those blockers and find a path down inside the 5-yard line.
12th play of the drive. Motion man is Bond. On a handoff, trying to rip through is.
All right, 1st and goal.
We'll have enough for the first down. Andre Jones Jr. got in there defensively. 1st and goal for Cleveland.
Have to punch it in here. Lean on your run game. I know the offensive line has gone through many different iterations throughout the year, but this is where you look at your offensive line and you say, we need 1 yard, guys. Let's get this.
3 tight ends in this formation. On 1st and goal, handoff, Sanders. And he comes up.
About an inch away.
Oh, boy.
Dorian Williams got very low to help make sure Sanders didn't get to the goal line. So this is where they're going to use both Zach Zinter and Aiden Huntington. With a
I hate these packages. There's no way. Is Zach Zinter in the game? I thought he was inactive.
ball is at the 1. Second and goal. And
I think it worked.
One official says touchdown. So we're going with that. Touchdown.
Okay.
Cleveland.
All right. I'm waiting for an angle.
Harold Fenton, the tight end.
He's lined up in the fullback position. It's just an old school fullback.
Yep.
belly.
Yeah, it's touchdown.
Pinballs his
That's
way
touchdown.
around.
He got in there.
Playing for the touch.
Harold Faden with a rushing touchdown this year. 2 touchdowns for Harold Faden, by the way.
They put him all over the place. You mentioned it earlier, and they have so much confidence and trust in him that every week there are new wrinkles added to the playbook. Very promising future for the young rookie, Harold Fannin Jr.
And how about that drive? 14 plays, 67 yards. It took 7 minutes and 56 seconds. And you look up, got a one-score game with a minute 36 to play in the third.
Texas feeling unwelcome.
All right. A Doobie Man says this touchdown drive sponsored to you by Rocket Sanders, not Rocket Money, because they ain't paying me a fucking dime. I ain't saying that. No, I'm not even going to say that. They have to pay for that. But appreciate the super chat of Doobie Man. All right, man. Close game in the fourth quarter. Well, close game. We're almost at the fourth quarter. It's what you want. Miles going to get some opportunities here. Defense is playing much better. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen here. All right. Corey Roberts says need to make a note to take Fannin in fantasy next year. Yeah, I took him in I don't know if his numbers are going to be as good because the Browns offense is just so limited that they're just forcing the ball to Harold Fannin. But we'll see. They're going to have more. I would assume they're going to have more options on offense next year. But I think he's a safe bet. I think he's going to be very productive. We got to see who's also running the offense next year. 17 points, we're cooked. We're going to run into the 17-point wall. We broke the wall a couple times. Definitely just gave us one timeout. Just give us one time. Oh, turnover. Yeah. Myles Garrett strip sack. Myles Garrett strip sack. Myles Garrett strip sack.
Can also take on the lion's share of the responsibility on that drive. And now Schmidt kicks it off to Ray Davis. From the 7, Davis. Tackle just across the 30-yard line. And this is what gives Browns fans hope that they have rookies contributing all across this roster. But, JJ, as you mentioned earlier, that usually means that there was a need, a dire need. And obviously at 3-11, they're not getting the results.
No, unfortunately, that means there were some holes to fill for those rookies to step in, but boy, do they have some good ones stepping in and some reasons.
All right, let's step up here.
About the future. Carson
Stop the run on early down.
Just a phenomenal rookie in the middle of that defense.
Josh Allen.
Oh, boy. Well, they stopped. They didn't run it, but they got a good play action opportunity. Browns went in there with like 8 guys on the line.
That is going to put Allen over 100 yards passing. Now,
Pete, the QB stats in the Giants versus Vikings game. We're going to check the scores after this drive from Buffalo or at the next commercial break. Probably going to be commercial break because we're going to get to the quarter break here soon.
Hitting the ball well and also trying not to let Myles Garrett ruin the game.
Allen is at 299 career touchdowns. Now in his 8th season. It's a give to Cook. It to the outside. He gets caught by Campbell along the sideline. NFL Today update. Let's go to New York and Adam Shine.
Ryan, JJ, Bryce Young goes full Houdini. Touchdown pass to David.
This is Bryce Young from Alabama right here.
The lead 20-17. Start the fourth back.
And they got a big one next week against Seattle, the Seahawks.
That's Alabama Bryce right there.
To open up week 16.
Unbelievable game. So
we got another super chat from one Mike, a $10 super chat. Appreciate that, Mike.
candidates for game of the year this year.
Josh Allen, Manning, Breeze. Do you think? Oh God, we're at that point, man. We're at the Josh Allen, Breeze, Young, Aikman, Elway. Do you think they became good after awful rookie seasons, but it's not believed that Sanders can develop into a good QB after the full off season? Oh, brother. Brother, yeah. I mean, first off, like everybody you mentioned, there's a first round pick, except for Drew Brees. Drew Brees was like an early second. So, like, yeah, they got the opportunity after their rookie year, but like how many day 3 picks at quarterback get to have bad rookie years and then get to follow up with that a whole offseason as being the starter? Like, that's just not how it works in the NFL, buddy. Like, this is not how it works, man. Like, if you're a first round pick, if you're a number 1 overall pick, you can have a shitty rookie year and you'll be fine because you're going to get the opportunity next year because they invested enough in you. But if you're not that, you're not going to get that. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, if this were Dylan Gabriel putting up these stats, would you be sitting here talking about some, oh man, we need to give him a whole off season before we can really know? It's like, yeah, you weren't pulling out the Peyton Manning tweets. They're fucking Dylan Gabriel. But also, it's like, hey man, every time we do this, where we're pulling out the Peyton Manning one, it just kind of tells you where we're at. The solvent says, there it is. The Sanders comps are happening. He's good. It's never good when people are bringing up, you know, Brett Favre's rookie year or Peyton Manning's rookie year and Josh Allen's rookie year. It's never a good thing, man. So, you know, it's not good that that's where people are going to. I'll just say that. Hopefully he could play better so people don't continue to go to Peyton Manning rookie year. It's not good. Like, yeah. All right.
Have now determined that Myles Garrett has been given half a sack along with Mason Graham.
Oh, they gave Myles half a sack on that play.
22 sacks.
So he's at 22. The next sack breaks the record. Alert, alert, alert. The next sack breaks the record. They gave Myles Garrett a half a sack on the Mason Graham play. The next sack breaks the record. Alert in chat. Alert in chat. At your battle stations. At your battle stations. Hey, let's get ready. At your battle stations, everybody. Next sack breaks the record. The next one breaks the record.
And here's the play. Again, the NFL deemed that Josh Allen gave himself up, so they split the sack there. In my personal opinion, if you're going to go with that determination, Myles was the reason that he turned around and flipped. So then you just give him the full there. But they decided to go half and half.
At your battle stations, they stole the sack back from Mason Graham.
Driving in with his back turned for 4 yards. A combination of Bush and Delpit bring him down. And this is now a big 3rd down and 4.
And the numbers now much cleaner. 1 clean sack, and Myles has the record all to himself. Talked about it all year long. Just an incredible season. Strength, speed, agility, can do it in so many different ways. Looks like he might have a one-on-one here.
Oh, bull rush. He gets rid of it. Too high. And the Browns are going to get the ball back.
Shakir open. Garrett lost his helmet on the play. And it's 4th down.
He loses his helmet here in a battle with Deion Dawkins. He goes for the bull rush, and Dawkins
takes his helmet off.
His right hand grabs the bottom part of that helmet, pulls it off. Let's see if we get a better look at it. Yeah, I mean, he grabs the back, and Myles is looking at the ref, who obviously couldn't.
At your battle stations, we are half a sack away. Oh, they're going to go for this.
23-17.
NFL was like, nah, Mason, that ain't for you. Myles off a chip. He got 2 on him, and he misses. The Browns going to get a good field position.
In the area of Shavers.
All right, Shador.
Handed over to Cleveland on down.
All right, let's check the scores around the league real quick. Let's check the scores around the league. By the way, you can check the scores around the league with me on Sleeper. You can also do picks on Sleeper if you want to do picks. Get 100% match on up to $100 when you use the promo code Worst Take. So make sure you check that out. Sleeper app has a lot to offer, from picks to fantasy football to just checking scores to just checking in with the league. They got this nice feed feature. People post on it. You get good memes on there, good updates. It's pretty much like if you want to not be on Twitter, but you want to keep up with the rapid news updates that Twitter has, that feed does a good job of doing that. So a lot of stuff that you can do here on that app. We're going to check scores around the league. Buccaneers, Panthers sitting at 20-20. The Chargers, Cowboys 24-17. Bengals up big on the Dolphins 38-14. Jets and Saints. Jets are down 10, 6-16. The Vikings and the Giants are tied at 13 right now. Keep your eyes on that one. And the Titans up 16 with the ball, 16-9 with the ball. And let me go look at, somebody told me to look at the quarterback stats in this one and the Giants game. So let me go pull that up right now. Let's see, Chris Oladokun, 10 of 14 for 107 yards. It must have been a Giants game somebody wanted me to look at here. Let's go to the Giants game. Stats here. Goodness gracious. 7 of 11 for 33 yards for Jackson Dart. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's not good. All right. That's where we are. Hey, Browns could tie this game here. It looks like the Browns defense has figured out the Bills offense in the second half. I knew the defense would stiffen up eventually. Down 7. Now the Browns have been able to run the ball pretty well against the Bills here. We'll see if that continues.
Prime. Shopping, streaming, savings. It's on Prime.
Back here in Cleveland, the Browns are hanging around against the Bills. Iron Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn on the sidelines. Would have been a 51-yard attempt for Badgley. They elected not to send the kicker out there, and Josh Allen incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he had the extra point earlier in the game, and he knew it's Cleveland, there's wind. Probably the right choice. I think it's a throw that Josh might want back. It was certainly behind, but there were also 2 defenders bracketing, so tough one, but big opportunity for the Browns here in the fourth quarter.
23-17, Buffalo in front. Browns take over at their own 34-yard line. Take the handoff. Sanders.
Nice screen. Space there.
Williams turns it upfield, and a
big tackle by 24. Browns get to the 40.
Cole Bishop got him down low.
All right.
And Cleveland is in business after a 26-yard catch and run.
The running back is going to slip behind the blitz, but also watch Antonio.
Great call here by Tommy Rees. He's had a good feel for what the Bills want to do all game.
My goodness, just
All hail Galactus 95. Let's get that record. Jeez, Sanders took a beating there. They're changing something.
At the 40, early stages, fourth quarter. Take the running play. Sanders again, and underneath pass to Sanders. Catch. He has dropped.
All right, 2nd and 7.
5, Walker and Taron Johnson. Here's the updated AFC playoff picture. Denver currently the number 1 seed. New England is the division leader in the AFC, 1 game ahead of Buffalo. So the Bills still have a chance to win the division.
Huge opportunity here for the Browns.
And off to Sanders.
All right, they're going to get to a 3rd and 5 here.
Across the 35, so that's a gain of 2.
Now, on these 3rd and medium, Sanders running the ball has really, Shador running the ball has really hurt the Buffalo Bills.
More difficult down the stretch of the season.
Absolutely. We talked about it at the top of the show. Possible trap game situation, one of those letdown spots where you come off a huge win at New England against a division opponent. You come in here to Cleveland against a 3-win team. And
Browns are empty.
really hyped up or
No, Williams in the backfield.
Dogfight here in the fourth quarter.
Motion, they're gonna run it. And Travion breaks loose. And he's at the 23.
Blocks from Batonio and Jenkins. And that'll move the chains for Cleveland to the tune of 11 yards.
There just isn't anybody.
Browns' run game is really carrying right now.
Between the center and the guard before the play or after the snap. And it's wide open space to run into. The Browns finding something here in their run game, which has been struggling lately.
Both teams have been successful on the ground. Right now it's Cleveland dictating. Inside handoff to Williams.
All right. 2nd and 7.
Down 20
That's
yards.
fine. That's
And
fine.
that doesn't look like a lot there. It's a little 3-yard gain.
That's fine.
That's what they haven't been having recently. They've been being contacted in the backfield so often. These little grinded out 3-4-yard runs then allow them to pop those big ones like the previous play.
Browns came in 29th in the NFL in rushing, 92.4 yards per
2nd
game.
and 7 here.
Lost their number one running back
10 minutes left in the fourth.
to a lower leg injury in the first half. 2nd and 7 for Cleveland.
End around to Corley.
Corley
And Corley gets it to a 3rd and medium.
jet sweep. They've used 3
The Browns have ran on their last few 3rd and mediums.
Jones wasn't fooled. Wraps him up, 3rd down, 4-yard pickup.
Joey Bosa kind of.
I think a play action would be a really good play here.
Sweep multiple times, had success.
Maybe one of those screens.
To finally get a little penetration and not do a whole lot, but at least not.
They're going to be thinking run.
To rally.
The Bills are
But look at your line. Your line's kind of tired.
treason in December.
Sorry, Q, didn't have the dog bones on. Now we ready. Appreciate your card, Sharks.
Cleveland is 8 of
I don't like this.
today. 3rd and 3. Sanders. Swing it up.
Oh, God.
Field tackle made.
Yeah, I didn't like the 2 running backs in the backfield.
As he meets Travion Williams.
Didn't like that at all.
Play for Buffalo.
Really wish we would have ran something that little play action there
Just don't get
to play off the tendency. I don't like that one.
Fills and makes the tackle. Prior to that play, I think there was a chance the Browns might have gone for it on 4th down if it had remained 4 or 5 yards, but with such a big loss, now you kick here.
A loss of 7, JJ, and now a 41-yard attempt for Andre Schmidt.
All right, Mr. Schmidt.
Nahara, the snapper. Bajorquez, the holder.
And he got it.
41
All right, 20-23.
down the middle.
All right, Miles, get that record. Next sack for Myles Garrett gets the record. I'm going to use the rest. Close game in the fourth quarter. It's been a while, man. It's been a while since we've been locked in for all 4 quarters here. Like, isn't that fun? It's been a while. Certainly has.
You rule. Corona. La Playa awaits. And by Volkswagen Tiguan. Now anybody can drive like somebody.
And a look inside the USS Cod submarine from World War II, located half a mile from Huntington Bank Field. As we rejoin you here in Cleveland, the amazing shots of today's game are provided by... Browns will kick it off after the 41-yard field goal by Schmidt. Ray Davis standing at the 4-yard line for Buffalo. Davis averaging 30.
I don't think that's a good one.
Entering action today, number 1 in the NFL, and he's spun out of bounds up near the 35.
Don't get any stupid penalties here.
Go down to Evan Washburn.
Got a little kerfuffle happening over here on the Browns sideline. Doesn't look like it's anything out of hand. Not necessarily the second half comebacks that we've seen from the Bills as of yet, but clearly the momentum shifted. I think it's a good time to bring up this don't blink belief that this Bills team has. Anytime you do an interview with them,
That's the thing. The Bills have been in these situations all season.
2022.
They're the cardiac Bills.
Organization and Josh really latched on to it. And it's again a belief that runs through this group in these moments where things are heading the opposite direction.
All right, 23-20. I wonder, their motion. Nope, they're going to run counter off of it.
The second half of games has been astounding.
Motion again.
Now they need a little second half juice.
And they finally stopped the play that they've been running a million times.
Bring him down. Shelby Harris.
All right, second down here.
To a 1-yard gain.
You know, Josh Allen only has 107 passing yards on the day, 17 rushing yards, but in the fourth quarter this year, he's first in the NFL in passing yards, rushing yards, completions over 20 yards, and offensive touchdowns. So this is where he's shined all year. This is where he's often put on that Superman cape. We'll see how that goes in this fourth quarter against this Browns defense.
Bills have won 4 of 5 to put themselves in position in the AFC East.
Oh, here comes Miles. Oh, he's going for the spin. Oh, but he dropped it.
Incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the intended receiver.
Oh, Miles almost got there.
Keep an eye on that, but ball hits him in the hands, extended out, just not able to pull it into his body. Put right on the money by Josh Allen on a potential long completion.
All right, 3rd and 9.
Unable to reel it in.
Obvious pass situation.
Three, throwing the ball in the first quarter. 6. He's going 6 of 12. This is now a 3rd and 9 in a 3-point game. You take nothing for granted in this league.
False start.
Allen. Look out. And Allen is blocked down by Switzer.
There you go. Carson with the big sack there, and the Browns are going to get the ball back.
The Browns gaining momentum. The Bills are out of sync.
Watch where Schlesinger starts here. He's going to drift.
Starts at the A-gap.
Trigger on Josh Allen. Starts over the center to set up the D-line stunt, and then wraps around the outside. Executed to perfection by the Browns defense.
Allen, make sure he held onto the ball, nearly lost it as Schlesinger was about to make contact.
Schlesinger is
All right, special teams. Come on, let's be normal.
on the kickoff.
The punt by Wisnowski.
Fair caught it.
Fair catch is called for and brought in by Larvidat. 40-yard kick. Browns very much alive against Buffalo.
Browns alive here. 7 minutes left, only down 3. They've been able to run the ball pretty effectively versus Buffalo, and I'm assuming that's what they're going to get back to this entire drive. Now, one thing that's been kind of interesting is Shedeur, since that pinky injury, has not thrown the ball downfield. I wonder if those two things are related. Tevin Jenkins, it looks like he's having a good game. I can't wait to look at the film for the run game today because last week was so embarrassing. So I'm excited to look at what it looks like this week.
4 weeks. Many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 4 years. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help visibly repair damage of the intestinal lining.
Allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Now's the time to take control of your Crohn's. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
What are you doing this weekend?
Carson Swessinger, by the way, that sack probably locks up Defensive Rookie of the Year for him. He was slipping a little bit in the odds, but that sack right there is probably gonna seal it in for him.
Handoff to Cook, trying to get there, extends his arm. He's in. Touchdown, Buffalo. It's been a different formula for Buffalo. It's been first half success on offense this week, but not much in the second half.
Buffalo keeps playing with their food here. Cleveland's actually doing a good job of taking advantage of some opportunities. A double end around here, and there's going to be no space. Oh, goodness.
And dropped on the play by Bishop.
That Beanie Bishop?
From the first half, and the Bills defense not fooled this time around.
Oh, Bo Bishop.
As Bishop is going to realize what's happening, and he's going to come back to stop this play. Smart player, recognizes what's happening from the first half, goes back and shuts it down all by himself.
He watched a lot of Robbie
All right, 2nd and 11.
when he was a kid because his parents were Patriots fans. Sanders. A soft toss to Judy, and the Bills are
3rd and 9.
tags him.
All right, they turned up the heat a little bit.
Again, the Bills were dropping into his zone here. Taron Johnson backing up, settles into his zone, sees the completed pass underneath, and triggers for a tackle, setting up 3rd and 10.
Under 6 minutes to go. Travion Williams, flank Sanders. Shotgun.
A lot of time there for Shador, and Tillman couldn't break free. Brown's going to go for this. It's in that range. It's in that range.
Now 4th down. I think you go for it here.
4th and 2.
Stefanski, Josh Allen's on the other side of the field. You don't want to put the ball back in his hands, even if their offense hasn't been great in this second half. You would love to keep your offense on the field and rolling here.
All right, they're going to go for it. Somebody tell the crowd to be quiet.
You got 3 wins. You go for wins.
It's 4th and 2.5.
This is going to Fannin.
Shotgun Sanders. Sanders.
Can't take a sack. Can't take a sack. Can't take a sack. Oh. Not on 4th down. You're giving them the ball at the 30 now.
Over with 5:02 to play.
Just a long time.
You cannot take a sack there.
So on the outside here, it's going to be a one-on-one with Robinson, and he lifts the outside arm, pushes him, and Shador never sees him from the backside. Huge sack on 4th down to give the Bills back already, potentially in field goal position, depending on how the kicking situation goes.
Multiple sacks for Russo. He had one last week against New England. It's a 14-yard loss, and it gives Buffalo the...
It's going to give Buffalo field goal position. Again.
Allen throws. It's complete. Target to Knox. So they're going to mark him down shy of the 20-yard line.
Knox is going to run a little whirly bird route right here. He's going to come in and then go back outside. Josh Allen's going to find him and slip it underneath the defenders. But for the Browns, it's all about holding them to 3 here. Cannot let them score a touchdown.
All right.
2nd and 1 for Buffalo. At the 21.
Timeout, Browns or Buffalo?
And a stoppage here.
Challenge, I believe, from McDermott.
He's challenging the spot.
Wonder if he's challenging the spot. Sean McDermott calling over Vinovich.
Buffalo's challenging one on the field.
So they needed to get to the 20. They marked him down at the 21.
Take a look here.
So Knox with the grab, and boy, it looks like he's
Yeah,
past the
yeah,
20.
it's a first down.
Sean McDermott is correct.
And on the live look, you know, you just feel what's 10 yards, and it felt like he got 10 yards. He was down right at the 20.
He did not need his glasses.
Oh, good point, JJ. That has been a story in Western New York.
All right, we're in the last 5 minutes. They're looking at a challenge. The Buffalo Bills are probably going to win that challenge there. That was a first down, or at least it appears to be a first down from the naked eye. We're going to check in on some scores via the Sleeper app, and make sure if you want to check out the Sleeper app, get a 100% match on up to $100 when you use the promo code WORSTAKE. You can do picks on Sleeper. We usually do picks on Sleeper, but right now we're checking scores on Sleeper, and let's check scores from around the league here. All right. So they call it a first down like we anticipated. We're checking scores from around the league here.
Him to the fact that Bills Mafia was talking
The
about
Vikings are in the red zone versus the Giants with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so they might score there to take the lead. It's a tie game, 13-13, and the Titans are up 23-9 on the Chiefs. So it looks like the Titans will take home and get their third win of the game. If the Browns lose this game, which 4 minutes 20 seconds left, still a lot of time left in this game, and the Titans result holds, then that means the Browns will be guaranteed at least a chance at number 2 if there are no ties for the rest of the season. And hold on. Yeah, if there are no ties for the rest of the season, they'll be guaranteed a number 2 pick. We'll see. We got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. Buffalo at the 20.
Resetting.
Still 5 minutes left, too.
The play clock.
A lot of time left.
Start the clock on Vinovich's signal. Talked about the tight ends with his Buffalo team. In fact, they came in number
Myles Garrett, of course, half a sack away from tying the record, a full sack away from getting the record.
number 3 in touchdowns, 11, which is the most in team history. Dalton Kincaid is the dynamic down the
So a lot to watch here
But Kincaid is not
as this game wraps up.
knee injury. He's only playing a portion of the plays.
Yeah, he's managing that throughout the year, and they know that that's a situation that they're probably going to be managing throughout the rest of the
First down at the 20. Handoff, stutter step move by Cook. And he'll get
All right, Browns stop the run here. It's good.
combination of Graham and Harris.
They're probably going to run again here on second down.
Update delivered by Little Caesars. Time permitting. All the latest NFL scores and highlights.
They're going to be able to run this clock into about 3:35 if they snap it late.
Timeouts remaining. The Browns have 3.
They're going to take their time here. They're probably going to run this ball again.
Allen working from under center. A give to Cook. He is met in the hole.
All right, 3rd and 5.
Tried to drive through the contact.
Myles Garrett time.
Gain of 3. And a timeout.
And Cleveland going to take a timeout here
Harris and Diabate.
to stop the clock at 3 minutes 35 seconds. They can hold them to a field goal. The Browns will have a chance to take the lead with the touchdown.
Forcing the Browns to use one of those timeouts, which could become very important here at the end of this game.
So here is the path for the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East title. They would win out, and New England would suffer losses to either the Jets or Miami, or Buffalo wins twice and New England loses out. They have owned the division They actually went 24 straight seasons without an AFC East title before this current streak under Sean McDermott.
I think they like the current streak better.
Yep, that feels like it would be a better feeling. They're down at 6. Allen,
That's short.
it's handled by Shakir, but he comes up short.
They might go for this.
Miles Harden delivered the hit.
Harden had to travel all the way.
They might go for this.
As they were a little bit confused on the back end, and he delivers the hit to stop the Bills just short of the first down, bringing up a 4th and 1, and the offense is staying on the field.
Ooh, why don't we ever have quick answers in short yardage besides screens? We do.
This is a different.
I mean, this whole game has been quick answers in short yardage, in my opinion, for the Browns offense.
Two running backs, Cook and Johnson.
Browns get good push here. They're rolling out. Oh, he dropped it.
Dawson Knox could not haul it in, and the Browns take over.
On downs.
47 to play.
So the Browns turn it over on downs, and so do the Bills.
By himself in the end zone.
Oh, he just collapsed on it early. He just dropped it. He just dropped it.
But man, that's one they're going to want back
And
in Buffalo.
will this come back to haunt them? They elected not to kick the field goal, to go for it on 4th down. In a 3-point game, Cleveland has 2:47 on the clock and 2 timeouts.
All right. Shador's had a pretty bad second half here, but he can redeem it here with one drive.
Touchdown catches last week in the rally against New England. Could not secure that.
Might be a false start.
Sanders. Backside
Oh,
throw.
God.
On the move, Sanders throws. And it's hauled in
All
by
right.
Corley along the sideline.
Got out of trouble.
Shador Sanders keeping the play alive and delivering a BB for 11.
Wow. With the defender in his face on the run, rolling out. He delivers the ball on a strike. Kind of surprised that was a clock stoppage there, but the Browns won't complain.
2:37 to go.
The blitz here.
Sanders in the pocket.
Oh, he takes a sack. They're gonna have to take a timeout here.
Rousseau
For 2 minutes.
collaborate.
A zone pressure where they bring 2 from the boundary, and it just overwhelms the offensive line of the Browns. And Shador has nowhere to go, has to eat it.
It's a loss of 8 on the play. We approach 2 minutes to go.
Gotta get this ball off in 5. In 5, 4. Get the ball off. Get the ball off.
For Sanders. Sanders.
Oh. That's gonna be intentional grounding. That's gonna be intentional grounding. Are they gonna? They're gonna call grounding, and they're gonna call it. That might be 2.
He was still in the pocket when he threw it.
That might be 2.
Get it back to the line of scrimmage.
That's gonna be grounding.
Receiver. 12.
Okay, he's right on the line there.
Sanders was not in the end zone when he released
Ooh, he's lucky he wasn't an inch deeper.
2-minute warning in Cleveland.
This holiday, Verizon's got the craziest deal ever. 4 iPhone 17 Pros. All on them. But no getting it. Naughty. You just ate. Don't worry. You know what list you're on. I'm always watching. Always watching. Not always. Boundary.
For a limited time, get 4 iPhone 17 Pros on us. No trade-in needed. Plus 4 lines for $25 a line.
Looking for a reason to try the $5 McChicken meal deal with...
All right. Do you go for it on 4th down at this point? Like, I think if you're the Browns, you try to like reserve one of your timeouts, and I don't know. You already blew past the 2 minute. You kind of got to go for it. If you don't get it, well, it's like 3rd and 23. You're probably not going to get it here. So you're probably just playing to try to get the 4th down conversion here, right? They called it a safety? No, they didn't call it a safety, right? That's not a safety. They didn't call that a safety. They called it a safety. They called it a fucking safety. That might end the game there. That's possession. That's possession. That's possession and points.
What's in your wallet?
Yeah, it might end the game there.
And by McDonald's.
Let's take you through a very eventful timeout. The call on the field was Sanders' intentional grounding at the 1. We heard from Bill Vinovich initially. Replay assist determined he was in the end zone. It's a safety, only to be updated with a second replay assist that stated he was out of the end zone, and it's third down.
Okay, so it's not a safety. So it's third down.
By rule, it's the body of the player itself. In this case, Sanders, his entire body is in the field of play. The position of the football is irrelevant. The entire body's in the field of play when he lets the ball go. That's why the intentional grounding is penalized from.
Oh, he almost stepped out the back of the end zone.
Down the sideline, incomplete. Jerry
You're gonna have to go for this here, right?
but so were two Buffalo defenders.
Or are you gonna punt? You kind of got to punt, man.
49 on the clock. Cam Lewis, Christian Benford,
Yeah, you got to punt.
and Sanders was very close to stepping out, but maintained his awareness.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there with the safety, not a safety. 2-in-1 game we've had in that kid.
The goal there for Sanders, though, you can't just go default to the deep ball. You got to try to get something so you can go for it on fourth down.
On the clock. Tall order here for the Browns.
I guess they're trying to, I guess they're saying, hey, we're trying to protect time here in our timeout. So if you can throw it out of bounds or get the first down, that's the only option. Maybe that's what they were telling them in the headset. So
51-yard.
it makes sense that they could have gone that way because at least they have their 2 timeouts now and they could stop them theoretically and get the ball back.
Kreischer and Hardy as they celebrate with today's top country artists. New Year's Eve, Nashville's Big Bash on CBS. So, 2 timeouts remaining for Cleveland, 2 for Buffalo, 1:38 on the clock, the ball at the 49 of Cleveland.
Yeah, the Bills are going to run the ball, force them to use their timeouts, hope to get a first down in the game. With only 2 timeouts, you have to get quick stops. You have to go for the ball. Every defender knows you're going for the football. Punch
it out.
Timeout.
Up the gut for a yard. Graham with a tackle. Timeout. Cleveland. 1 remaining. Stay tuned. NFL Today update delivered by Little Caesars. Time permitting. All the latest NFL scores and highlights.
Jeff says they're taking a quarterback.
Myles Garrett given credit for half a sack. So
2nd and 9 here.
2 on the season. He is a half sack away from tying the record, a full sack from breaking the single season mark. The Bills' focus right now is just getting the W. 3 tight ends. 2nd and 9. 1 timeout left for Cleveland. They fake the handoff. Allen, he shovels it ahead, and it's caught.
Short.
Jackson Hall.
Timeout.
Not enough for the first down, but Josh Allen makes it happen under some heat.
Are you kidding me? I mean, multiple things.
Alex Smith.
Obviously the sack, but that keeps the clock going, so it's fine. He decides to flip it out there. If that falls incomplete, it stops the clock, saving the Browns a timeout. Instead, it's almost a first down as he completes the pass. My goodness.
And it forces Cleveland to use its final timeout. It's 3rd and 1. They get a first.
So the Browns going to stop here. They're going to be able to run the clock to about 45 seconds.
In as the extra in this package with Cook in the backfield. Tight formation. 3rd and 1. Motion man is Gilliam.
And he got it. That's game.
Gets it. First down.
That's ball game.
Buffalo's going to get it done.
All right, so Buffalo's going to beat the Browns this week, but if you're a Browns fan, that probably wasn't the worst result if you're looking long term, right? I think you're happy with the performance this week, but if we're looking around the league right now, and we should be, what's intriguing is that the Titans look like they're going to hold this lead versus the Chiefs. And if the Titans win, because the Raiders and Giants play each other, and they're both 2-win teams, so they're going to get to 4. One of those teams are going to get to 3 wins if there's not a tie. That means that the Browns lose out. They lose versus Pittsburgh next week. They lose versus Cincinnati. They will be guaranteed the number 2 pick of the draft at the very least. Duh, 78. I don't know. Like, is he like a Bills fan that's trolling? It's pretty weak shit. Half the people in chat are happy that the Browns lost too. Like, I don't know why he's trolling. It's very ineffective. But Miles, half a sack away from the record, could get it next week versus Pittsburgh. Judkins is hurt, but it looks like it's a bone injury, so it's best case scenario. And Buffalo gets into the wild card here.
They're hoping for a New England loss to one of the division opponents, either the Jets or the Dolphins, as they have to continue to win themselves.
And the Patriots play in Baltimore Sunday Night Football. So for Myles Garrett, didn't get the record, did get half a sack, so obviously next week in focus as the Browns will be home for Pittsburgh. Send it down to Evan Washburn.
Well, Josh, this is why sometimes you say people on the outside know.
All right, let's go and look at the ending before we go to the post-game show. Where is that Giants game? Let's see the Giants game. Where's that at? Is that going to be a close ending?
Massaging and babying.
All right, so Giants are down 13-16 to the Vikings. If the Giants win, and that's another 2-win team out the window for the Cleveland Browns, as far as the number 1 overall pick is considered. Pathetic fan base rooting for losses forever, doormat. Cool, bro. Okay. All right, 3rd and 8 here. We're going to check in on this Vikings game before we go to the post-game show. The Giants don't have any timeouts, but they only need 3. It's a 3rd and 8 here. We'll see what happens.
Pin them deep. There's no way that I can see the Giants managing to get all the way down.
It's a run. Oh, they're going to let them through. So the Giants are going to lose. So they're going to go to 2-13. But the Giants weren't the one you were worried about. The Titans were. And if we can switch back to that Titans game. Remember, the Giants have winnable games for the rest of the season, so it's very likely that the Giants are going to win a game here. Let's go back to the Titans game here. Cowboys. Here, yeah, Kansas City Chiefs at Titans. All right, let's go to the Titans game. Yeah, 1 minute 47 left, so it looks like the Titans are going to win, which basically locks the Browns into, if they lose their next 2 games, the number 2 pick of the draft. And with Quinshon Judkins out, obviously for the rest of the season, we'll see how much longer he's going to be out. That puts the Browns in pretty good position to get a quarterback in this draft class. So we'll see what happens. Next week's going to be interesting, right? Because if you're the Browns, you probably want the Giants to lose that game and you want the Raiders to be out from in front of you in the draft order. I don't know do the Raiders play this week? What are the Raiders playing this week? I'm pretty sure they're going to get smoked. Sins killed you with the super chat. Team fought harder than I expected, so I'm happy. Judkins' injury stinks, but the offense showed signs of life, and I like them being able to show variety in the run game. I think that's been interesting. We'll see when Judkins, what the nature of that injury is. I'm hearing it's a bone injury, and if it's a bone injury, that's best case scenario, because that means the recovery might take a while, but the impact on his career is going to be low. Dart 33 yards, and they'll give him a higher QBR than Shedeur. What, did he not throw an interception or something like that? So it looks like the Titans just locked in their 3rd win of the season. The Browns have the strength of schedule tiebreaker over the Titans. So if we go to Tankathon, I believe the Browns just jumped up to the 3rd pick in the draft. But remember, the Raiders and the Giants play each other next week. If that game has a finish, right, if there is a winner awarded to that game, which there likely will be, then the Browns will jump up again. So they're at 3. The Giants and the Raiders, the 1 and 2 team, play each other next week. So one of those teams are going to get 3 wins, and the Browns will jump up to number 2 in that scenario. So if the Browns lose out, it looks like they'll get the number 2 pick. At worst, remember, the Vegas Raiders do play the Kansas City Chiefs, who just took a fat L to the Titans. So keep that in mind, right? It doesn't look like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to end things on a strong note here. Myles Garrett's going to get a chance to break the sack record versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Expect all kind of shenanigans in that game. Dragon the Banders says that's a poetic opportunity. I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't think the Raiders are playing right now. I think the Raiders will play later today or maybe even on Monday Night Football. Yeah, the Raiders play the Texans, so the Raiders aren't going to win today, more than likely. I'd be very surprised if the Raiders won today. So the Browns are going to move up and guarantee Judkins officially broke his leg per rap sheet. So I think that's a longer recovery than an ACL, but I think the impact on his future is much, much better. So there's that. There is that. Let's go ahead and do one more look around the league score-wise, and then we'll get to the post-game show. Make sure you use the Sleeper app. Get a 100% match on up to $100 when you use the promo code WORSTTAKE. Sleeper has picks, fantasy football. They have this interesting kind of Twitter-like feed on their app. They also have scores here. We're going to get checked in on scores around the league. The Jets lose to the Saints 29-6, or at least it looks like it's headed that direction. If we're talking about what's going on with the games that have gone final, Titans over the Chiefs 26-9, huge result for the Browns. Vikings over the Giants 16-13. Dolphins losing to the Bengals 45-21. Chargers 34-17. Bills beat the Browns 23-20. Panthers beat the Buccaneers and now take the lead in that division 23-20. So Baker Mayfield's bad month starts to turn into a bad 2 months there. Right when he's on a contract here, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But make sure you check the Sleeper app out. Use the code WORSTTAKE. Get a 100% match on up to $100 when you use my code. All right. Browns fans really going to root for a Steelers win. Hey, man. Do you want to? It's tough because If you think one of these quarterbacks can change your fortune, rooting for one Steelers win versus 20 years of being dominated because you don't have a quarterback, it's a pretty easy choice to me, right? If you think there's quarterbacks to get in this draft, you got to do what the fuck you got to do to get one, man. And, when you're this close, I mean, you're basically guaranteed a top 2 pick. There's 2 quarterbacks in this class. The math is pretty obvious what you do for these next 2 games. Nobody likes to be here, but the thought process is if you get the quarterback, you won't be here again. So you got to think about the long-term picture. What do I think Shador's depth of target is in this game? I saw it was under a yard for the first half. I can't imagine it's much longer than that. He did not throw the ball downfield at all in this game. I think that was by design in the first half. I think the second half, it's his pinky. Browns fans, okay, I already got to that. So that's the super chats. We're caught up with that. Whew. All right. Let's get to the post-game show. Mic check, mic check. All right. Ray Rags with a super chat before we get to Bleacher Report. It's a win-win here on out. Either the Browns win and I would never be upset at a win, or they lose and it's a better draft pick. That's how I view it. That's how I view it. I think we're at the point now to where it just makes too much sense to secure your draft future. Last year when it was like there was no quarterback last year that you were going for, I was more kind of lackadaisical about it. But there's a quarterback. There are 2 quarterbacks I think could be franchise guys out this class, and I want one of them. Scooter says the people who hate on Mendoza because of the weird interviews are going to switch up so quick when it's 2028 and he's crying on the field after beating the Steelers in Pittsburgh to clinch a division title. I'm hoping he does it sooner than that if he gets drafted here. Look, we're going to love anybody who's successful at the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. That's going to be the case. No matter who it is, whoever is the guy who fixes that problem will be loved forever in this city because we've been waiting forever for that answer in this city. But we're going to go to the post-game show. All right, we're going to start it in about 10 seconds here. This has been, I think, one of the more exhausting sets of 2 years back-to-back for the Cleveland Browns. I think the reason it feels even more exhausting than maybe the time where the Browns went 1-31 is because of expectation, right? The Browns went on that 1-31 slide, but I think people have to remember before 2016, the thought process in Cleveland was like, hey, we're kind of tired of being mediocre. We would rather just go and be all the way bad to get the draft picks that we need to solve our problems, versus being just good enough to get picks that don't really solve your problems. And I think that was kind of the prevailing thought, right? We missed out on Andrew Luck. We missed out on Jared Goff, all these guys that maybe the Browns wanted at quarterback. And we're like, hey, we need to just do what we need to do to secure draft positioning. And that was, so when the Browns went 1-31, it was not really that exhausting. People were like okay with it because 1, the team had not been successful in a very long time. And 2, we had been a certain brand of unsuccessful that it made being that bad preferable to what the Browns were doing up to that point. This is different, right? Like the Browns before this run were an 11-5 football team, right? Before these last runs of bad seasons, they were an 11-5 football team, a playoff team. So it's not like we feel like they should be this bad, but they just are this bad. Now, this game was a bit of a change of pace, to be honest. Like, it was a more competitive game. It was competitive up into the fourth quarter. The run defense was pathetic in the first half, tightened up in the second half. Like, there's more to take away and actually be happy with in this game versus a lot of the games in the season. I'm interested to see how the fan base reacts to this loss, because me personally, this isn't one of the losses this season that makes me furious, right? Like, this had furious potential, but we are no longer furious at this loss, I think. There were two bits of horrific news, or at least one bit of horrific news that you got in this game. Quinshon Judkins went down with what seemed like a serious leg injury. Now, we do have an update from Ian Rappaport about this injury, and this update is not necessarily like good news, but it's better than terrible news, I would say. The report is from Ian Rappaport. Star rookie Quinshon Judkins, who was carted off, suffered a broken leg in today's game. He will be evaluated. He's also being evaluated for knee injury. So, broken leg confirmed. He's being evaluated for knee injury. We don't know what that situation is. If he does not have a knee injury, that is ultimately the best case scenario, right? Like, the big thing you want to avoid with Quinshon is a torn ACL or MCL or anything like that, right? Maybe a meniscus tear wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if that were to be the case, but a torn muscle, that would be a tremendous setback, right? A broken leg is about what? This is Google, so again, let me go on the Cleveland Clinic's website. So Cleveland Clinic says this is going to take a few months to heal. A broken leg would take a few months to heal. So don't know what the details are, obviously, of the broken leg, but a broken leg would be a much less severe injury if that were to be the case. So, knock on wood, let's hope that injury is not as bad as it looked, because it looked pretty brutal. We'll see what it is. Super unfortunate for Quinshon to not only have his season ended like that, but to also have his season ended before being able to get to 1,000 yards from scrimmage, which he was well on his way to. He ended his season at 947 yards. And it's always brutal when guys get these kind of injuries right before the end of the season. Because it truly derails their next season most cases, right? We could look at somebody like Mike Hall, right? Another example of this. Had a season-ending injury at the end of this year, last year, and it lingered into this year, and he hasn't been completely right since. The same thing happened with DeJuan Jones in back-to-back years. So super unfortunate that that's happened to Quinshon Judkins. And no matter the result of the game, how it affects anything, you wish that wouldn't have happened. The positive news in relation to that is it does feel like the Browns are starting to figure out a couple of things in the run game, right? I think Tevin Jenkins is somebody you're going to want to keep around next year. Maybe you keep Teller in there as well, but Tevin Jenkins, I feel like he's going to be the front runner to replace Joe Bitonio at left guard. He's played some solid football. When he's out there, the run blocking seems to be better. He can hit targets in space. I think he's the front runner for that left guard spot that will open up. I think they'll probably go Tevin, maybe a rookie behind him, and then Joe Bitonio. But Tevin continues to be pretty promising out there when he's been in at guard for an injured Wyatt Teller. I know some people think he's going to replace Wyatt completely. I don't think that's going to be the case. One, his injury history is just atrocious, so you can't just get rid of Wyatt, put Tevin Jenkins out there and think that nothing bad's going to happen. He's had injuries every year of his career, including this year. So that would be kind of silly. But I think you probably keep Teller. You probably keep Tevin around. And then you build your line from there. So you probably get a center, look at some tackles in the draft if you're lucky. But yeah, just kind of focus in on that. The run game, I thought, carried the entire offense today. The run game had more yards than the passing game in this one, right? Pass game was 134 yards, run game about 160. Your leading rusher was Shedeur Sanders, who I thought did a really good job scrambling in this one. Rocket Sanders came in. I thought he was pretty impressive. Big body guy, running really hard, 3.8 yards per carry. And then what I liked about this was the variety from the Browns run game. You got like end arounds. You were playing stuff off the end arounds. They were running things out of different formation types, different looks. It was just a much needed change of pace from this Browns run game. Now, let's be honest here. This football team is headed towards a full reset at the coaching, right? Like they look like they are going to fire Kevin Stefanski at the end of the season. Everything that's leaking out, the fact that you haven't gotten the Albert Breer report that Kevin is safe like he got last year this time, that just tells you what direction things are going. It looks like Kevin's going to get fired soon. So, it's nice to see some progress schematically. It's nice to see some progress in the play calling. I don't know how much that ends up mattering because I think Kevin's going to be fired at the end of the year. The one good thing you can say for wherever Kevin lands, look, this team still fought for him at the end of the day. Back-to-back 3-win seasons so far, and they're still fighting for him. We'll talk about Shedeur in a minute because that's going to be a lengthier conversation here. But yeah, Harold Fannin had a 2-touchdown day. Pretty good day for Harold Fannin, especially you started him on your fantasy team. Thought defensively, this was an interesting game. The first half, they were bad. Like they were straight up bad in the first half of this game. Second, they gave up 20 points in the first half. Then the second half comes around, they only give up 3 points in the second half here. I will say this defense has been put in rough spots all season. And I don't think they were really put in rough spots in this game, but I think you're just starting to see the weight of all the shit that they dealt with early in the season affect them at the beginning of these games. It just felt like they weren't locked in mentally. These last two first halves for the Cleveland Browns just have not felt locked in. And then they find a way to lock in the second half of these games. Myles Garrett got a half a sack on a pretty crazy play with Josh Allen that puts Myles Garrett a half a sack away from breaking the record. So 1 sack and he breaks the record against Pittsburgh in Cleveland, which would be a fun thing, right? If he were able to break that record in Cleveland. And against Pittsburgh, which would be kind of poetic. It would also be within 16 games. So, there would be no argument about who had the better season, even though Myles Garrett is almost certainly going to get that number of sacks and much less passing attempts than Michael Strahan had. So kudos to Myles for getting that done. And if you get a good offense behind this team in the next couple of years, I think Myles is very likely to have a season where he actually does break his record from this year, so I think Myles has much more to do because what he has done has been so difficult this year. It's hard to imagine that he could do more than that, but I truly think he's capable of doing more than that. Let's see. Defensively, I thought Carson Schlesinger played well. This was a bad game for Mahmoud Diabate, at least from the broadcast view. I don't think Devin Bush played especially well in this one. And also, I think the interior guy, Shelby Harris, was pretty bad in this one. I had to look and see how Mason played, but I don't think Mason was awesome in this one either. It was an up and down game for the Browns defense, but they locked in the second half and did give the offense a chance to win. Which brings me to Shedeur Sanders. And this is one where we're going to have to be mature about, right? Because every time we talk about this, it gets into a crazy direction of where people go and the conversations people tend to have about this. But here's what I want to start the conversation out with as far as Shedeur is concerned, as far as his performance in this game is concerned. This was not a good game for Shedeur Sanders. I can see how some people can try to turn it like that, 20 of 29, but we weren't giving Dylan credit for these kind of games. We really shouldn't give Shedeur credit for these kind of games. I mean, this is a game that felt like it came right out the Dylan Gabriel playbook. Like the yards per attempt are like 5.4 yards, right in the wheelhouse of where Dylan Gabriel was. I want to see what the air yards per target were, but in the first half, it was pretty low. I imagine it didn't go up in the second half. He averaged in the first half, this is from Daniel Ofuisi from ESPN, Shedeur Sanders averaged 0.7 air yards per attempt in the first half. That's the second lowest rate in the first half this season. It's amazing that rate right there is the second lowest, and that tells you what Dylan Gabriel was doing when he was out there, because I'm almost certain that's Dylan Gabriel that got the lowest. But yeah, it was under a yard per attempt. It's not good, right? Like it's not good there, especially when his calling card is throwing the ball downfield. Now he did have the pinky injury, right? And maybe the pinky injury like really did affect his ability to throw the ball downfield in this one. And I think there's some grace to give there. But the one touchdown, the two interceptions, one of those interceptions was more of a great play from Joey Bosa. The other interception was 50-50 Shedeur Quinshon Judkins, right? He threw the ball behind Quinshon. Quinshon didn't make a good adjustment to get to it, but it really wasn't the type of throw you expect to be off target. Like you expect that throw to be on target. So Shedeur could have thrown a better ball. Quinshon could have made a better adjustment. It's 50-50 in my eyes there. He took a couple of bad sacks, especially late in this game, and then he got the intentional grounding penalty that essentially ended this game for him. Had a chance to put the Browns up to win this game at the end of it, right? Like he had a legitimate chance to win the game at the end. The Browns defense gave him multiple opportunities, and he did nothing with the football. That's not positive, right? I don't think we would look at that with positive feelings if this were any other quarterback. Now I know people are going to hit me up with the, hey man, Peyton Manning wasn't amazing in his first few games, and the rookie struggle, and I understand all of that. But also you got to understand that the Browns really don't got time for any of that when it comes to Shedeur, right? When people bring up, oh, Josh Allen struggled early in his rookie year, Peyton Manning struggled early in his rookie year, those are conversations that you can have if a guy's a number one overall pick. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about guys who were number one overall picks, early first round selections. In Drew Brees' case, he was an early second round selection. We're talking about guys who the organization has invested in enough to have those conversations about. Shedeur is not a first round pick. He's not a second round pick. He's not a third round pick. He's not a fourth round pick. He's a fifth round pick. And you might think his talent doesn't equate to a fifth round selection. And I think that's fair to believe. But ultimately, the Browns' investment in him is a fifth round pick. And the Browns aren't going to hold up the quarterback position and close themselves off to a quarterback in the draft for a quarterback who has 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That's not stopping the Browns from taking a quarterback. And I've said this the whole time Shedeur's gotten the starts for the rest of the season. And he's at his 6th start, which is the same amount of starts that Dylan Gabriel got, right? So it's going to be fair to compare stats here. When you look at Shedeur, you've seen some flashes, you've seen some good things, you've seen some bad things. I think Shedeur can be a pro quarterback eventually, but I don't know if that's going to happen on a timeline that's convenient for the Browns. And I think the Browns should not hold up their franchise to get to that timeline with Shedeur. I think they got to move on, right? Or at least draft somebody and see what Shedeur can do in that situation. We'll talk about the Browns draft order in just a second. But yeah, like this has not been a good enough 6 games to stop the Browns from taking a quarterback. And remember, the only thing that was ever going to stop the Browns from taking a quarterback is winning football games for Shedeur Sanders. And he has not won football. He's won 1 football game against the Raiders, his debut. But after that, he has not won football games for this team, which has put him in an awkward position, right? Like in this game right here, he had the chance to pull the Browns out of draft position and go down the field and beat the Buffalo Bills. Multiple opportunities to do so. He ends up in the end zone getting an intentional grounder that came this close to getting a safety. Like, Shedeur has had the opportunities to play his way out of to play the Browns out of quarterback conversations this season. He has not done it. You know, you could argue maybe he did it a little bit in the Tennessee game, but ultimately they made some snafus there that were beyond Shedeur for sure. But this one, I don't know how we can not say that Shedeur just did not succeed in those opportunities right there. It was not a good game for Shedeur. And the Bills are tough, but playing in division opponents who are more familiar with you now, that's going to be even more difficult. Like Pittsburgh's going to be a really difficult game for him next week. We'll see what he's able to do. But ultimately, what we've seen for sure is not going to stop the Browns from taking a quarterback if they have an opportunity to take a quarterback. Now, let's talk about the opportunity to take a quarterback, because the Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Tennessee Titans today. That means that the Browns, if they lose out, are very likely, we're talking about 95% odds at this point, to get the number 2 pick in the draft. The reason this is the case is because the Browns have the overall tiebreaker of all teams in the top 10 when it comes to strength of schedule. And given that there's only 2 weeks left in the season, their strength of schedule tiebreaker is set to hold, right? It's very likely that it holds at this point, right? It doesn't seem like there's not going to be enough games to put a dramatic enough shift in strength of schedule for the Browns for that tiebreaker to not hold, more than likely. So if that's the case and the Browns' strength of schedule holds like it is very likely to hold, and the Browns only win 3 games this season, that means they jump every team with 3 wins, and they get the first pick of all the teams with 3 wins. Right now, there are 3 teams with, well, let me pull up Tankathon to be 100% correct here. Right now, the Cleveland Browns, when it comes to the draft order, are dealing with, well, coming into this week, there were 3 teams at 2 wins. 2 of those teams play each other next week, the New York Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders. Those 2 teams will play each other. If one of those teams wins, which means there's no tie, then one of those teams will be at 3 wins. So coming into this week, the Browns, if they lost out, were guaranteed to be in the top 3. Now, if the Browns lose out, because Tennessee has 3 wins now, the Browns jump them in the draft order. If the Browns lose out, they'll be at worst at number 2 in the draft. So that is the draft picture. If the Browns don't beat the Steelers next week, the Browns don't beat the Cincinnati Bengals next week, it's pretty obvious what opportunity is ahead of them. They'll have a top 2 pick in a draft that has 2 quarterbacks. It looks like Dante Moore is going to come out of Oregon, and it looks like Fernando Mendoza is coming out at Indiana. Both those guys are bona fide top 5 picks, and the Browns will take one of those 2 quarterbacks, more than likely. Nothing they have seen this year from either Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur would move them off of that, and they have not won enough games to make that conversation more difficult. So they lose out for the rest of the season. We see where the Browns are likely to end up here, and what their future is going to look like. Now, who's going to be coaching that number 1 overall pick? What kind of help are they going to get on the offensive line? What kind of help are they going to get from wide receiver? All of those questions need to be answered before the draft, right? We're going to get a new coach. We're probably going to get some new offensive linemen. We're probably going to get a new wide receiver before we even select the quarterback. Those things are probably going to be done, right? So I know all these questions are happening before the draft, but we're having these conversations out of order The Browns are going to hit free agency before they hit the draft. The Browns are going to make trades before they hit the draft. The roster could look completely different by the time we get to the draft. And it's very obvious what they could do. And then obviously they also have a lot of draft picks. They have this year's first. They have the Jacksonville first. They also have their own second, third, fourth, and fifth round picks. And they have a bunch of fifth round picks. So the Browns have a ton of options to build this team out in the draft. They'll have cap space because of the Watson insurance and everything else that they've done to structure these contracts. They will be in a position to be able to improve this team this offseason, but they're going to get a new coach. They're going to get some new players. We'll know what that is before they even make a draft pick. We'll know that, before we even get to the combine, right? So we'll see what happens there. But that's what the outlook looks like to be. Some people are happy about that. Some people are thrilled. Some people are finding their peace. We'll see where we are. As far as Shedor's future goes, I still think that there's something there for him, right? Like maybe he can be on the team next year, potentially be the bridge quarterback next year. I don't have a problem with that being the case. I think if he could be a Davis Mills, that's a win, right? If him or Dylan Gabriel could be Davis Mills for this team next year, that's a win, but that's going to be dependent on who the head coach is, because head coach is going to look at the stat sheet. He might say, nah, he's gone. We'll see what happens as we move forward, but that's kind of the picture of this game. It was a good effort by the Browns. They gave Buffalo a nice scare, but they didn't ultimately win. And since they did not win, that puts the Browns in a pretty significant draft position going forward. But that's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts in the chat down below. It's been one of those seasons. Like, I think we're all ready for this season to have an ending because it's just been rough. It's just been rough. It's not been what we had hoped at all, but hopefully they make some decisions in the offseason that get the Browns to where we hope they could be. Someone said they love my polo. Appreciate that. Are we getting more information on Quinshawn? Let's see if we're getting more information on Quinshawn. I don't think we got more. I know some people are saying it's an ankle. We'll find out tomorrow what the deal is with Quinshawn. I don't think we're going to find out today. Okay, so this is from Kevin. Huge update on the Quinshawn thing because we talked about it earlier. I want to add this update in here. Daniel Ofuise of ESPN. I got to get him on the show hopefully this week, but holidays are busy. But he says the Browns running back Quinshawn Judkins dislocated his ankle and fractured his fibula. So a fractured fibula and a dislocated ankle. Let's put that into Cleveland Clinic's website. See some rough timelines, some rough unofficial timelines here, right? For those injuries respectively. Ankle dislocation looks like 6 to 12 weeks of healing and 3 to 6 months for a full return to activity. We're talking about a fractured fibula. About 6 to 12 weeks of healing. So 3 months where Quinshawn can't work out, basically. And then 3 to 6 months for full recovery. So then 3 to 6 months after that, where he can get back. So we're probably talking about a 6 to 8 month timeline for those injuries because you can heal at the same time. So he's probably going to be back hopefully around late August. You would hope late August, early September. But the good news about those injuries is that those aren't the kind of injuries that have a long-term effect on your career. So that's really good news there. It's a really positive update. Again, my timeline is rough. If a doctor contradicts me, please listen to the fucking doctor. I'm a dude in a chair who likes football and talks about football, and yeah, I'm not a fucking doctor. All right. So if the doctor says it's 9 months, 12 months, listen to the doctor. If the doctor says it's 6 months, listen to the doctor. The doctor has more clout than me in this conversation. So please default to the doctor. If you're a doctor watching this and you would like to correct me, please feel free to. I'm not going to take it as a shot to my ego because I'm not dumb enough to think I'm smarter than a doctor when it comes to this. So if you're in sports medicine, please let me know what you think that timeline looks like. And if you think this is a better case scenario, but I think this is a better case scenario, it feels like better than torn ACL. You know what I mean? This feels better. Or what I was afraid of, which was broken leg and torn ACL. So that feels like a better result. So there's some silver lining here. Now it correct me if I'm wrong again. It does feel like this is going to cost him another training camp, which is unfortunate, but we have seen Quinshon be able to make that adjustment. So there is that. We got a super chat here. Let me get to that super. Q got a PhD in awesome. Appreciate that. That's real nice to hear. You know, I like compliments. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Yeah, beats by Dr. Q, Quincy MD. Please stop this. Please stop this. But yeah, you're gonna want to watch the results of that Raiders game. I think the Texans are pretty likely to win it, so I wouldn't watch it. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it, but you know, keep an eye on it. Because if the Raiders do pull a win out, you know, that's obviously good for the Browns. But yeah, that's where this loss puts the Browns. Yeah, people are tweaking. A lot of people saying that it's going to have them back by training camp. All right. Well, I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. Same injury as Gordon Hayward against the Cavs that ruined his career. I think it's different. Like, I don't know. Did it look as bad as Gordon Hayward? Was it a complete sever? Like, I feel like Gordon Hayward's fracture is a bit unique. Yeah, he did. He did dislocate his left ankle and he did fracture his tibia. Again, default to the doctors. You know, so somebody brought up a good point that this is the exact same set of injuries that Gordon Hayward had, a dislocated left ankle and a fractured tibia. I don't know if this is the same. Again, please, anybody who has a background in sports medicine, please let me know what you think on that situation. Or if you are somebody who has like some kind of media background and a sports medicine background and you want to be on the show, please let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. I will be able to try to accommodate you if we can make it work out, because I would love to talk to somebody about this. But yeah, again, we'll see. We got to wait for the experts to really look at that. Yeah. So that's been this game. I don't know if there's much more to really talk about with this one. Yeah, I don't think it's the same. Someone said get Jeremiah Love. Wait. Some people are saying it's not the same injury. So he said fibula. Tibula. No. The tibula is different. Okay. So it's not the same. What's the tibia? We about to learn some shit today, chat. Oh, that's different. It looks like the tibia is the big bone at the front of your leg. You know, the fibula is the smaller supporting bone. So it looked like the tibia is a bigger deal than the fibula. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my word on it. I'm not a doctor. Please don't take my word on it. Someone said I'm a bio teacher. Appreciate you. I mean, I imagine that's more helpful than what I am. Right? Like, I appreciate that. But yeah. Crutches for 2 months. He'll be fine, chat. Random Browns fan. It's the other side of the leg. All right, man. I'm in dangerous territory. I'm talking about shit I don't know about. All right, but well, appreciate everybody for joining. Yeah, Hayward was 27, Judd is 22, so that could be a factor. Yeah, Judd's pretty young here. Hopefully he drinks a lot of milk. Gordon was good after, just not on Boston. That's true. That's true. All right. So again, not the same set of injuries. So that's really good. That's really nice to see. But all right, y'all. We've had a good time. At least the game was good. Right? Look, we know what this season has been. At least the game was good. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night, man. Peace.